का वास्ता हर मातमी की है मौला यही दुआ है शाह करबला ज़हरा का वास्ता हर मातमी की है मौला यही दुआ
Women are prevented from freely entering and mourning the grave of their own imams and prophets. This is not merely a physical boundary, but a violation of faith itself to forbid a mother, a sister, a daughter, a Muslim from standing at the resting place of world prophet and imam is to silence a devotion that has always been central to our faith. This restriction is not just about access, it is about dignity, about recognition, and about the right to remember. When remembering the desecrated soil of Jannatul Baqee and the injustice that has been done upon it, let us remember the birds mentioned in Surah Fil. Each bird carrying a stone, a small stone, stones that seem insignificant against such a powerful army. Yet, by the command of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, those stones became the very means through which the entire horde was defeated. Today, every protester standing here, every voice raised, every banner lifted, every tear shed for Baqee is like those birds, each of us carrying our own small stone.
لبيك يا زهراء لبيك يا زهراء لبيك يا زهراء
Alone, it may seem small, but together it becomes a declaration before the world and before Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that we refuse to stand with the oppression that tried to silence the echo of it. They were able to tear down the dome, level the walls, and reduce the visible sign of Baqee to bare earth. But what they could not demolish was the legacy rooted within. Every tear shed for Baqee, every gathering held in its remembrance, every child taught about its significance is proof that its legacy survives. They removed the buildings, but they could not remove the bond between the Ummah and the family of the Prophet. And as long as that bond lives, Baqee is not empty land. It is living history.
البقي 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 البقي
And if it is living history, then it deserves a living future. If Saudi Arabia speaks of transformation, reform, and a bold Vision 2030, then let that vision include justice for its past. True progress is not measured in only skyscrapers, tourism, and economic growth. It is measured in how a nation honors its history. If Vision 2030 promises modernization and global leadership, then Baqee must be part of that promise. A future that invests in culture, preservation, and inclusion cannot leave one of Islam's most historical sites in neglect. If Saudi Arabia seeks a new chapter, then let that chapter begin with recognizing Baqee. For Baqee is not merely a wound of one sect. It is an Islamic wound. It is the scar left when reverence is replaced with desecration. Baqee is sacred because of the righteous souls who rest there. People go to Baqee not to worship stones, but to remember values, to remember love over fear, restraint over revenge, truth over power, God over empire.
Al-Baqee, Al-Baqee. Al-Baqee, Al-Baqee. Al-Baqee, Al-Baqee.
We stand today as witnesses that Baqee is not forgotten, witnesses that history cannot be bulldozed, witnesses that the graves may be unmarked, but their legacy is unmistakable. 100 years ago, Baqee was destroyed. Today, 100 years later, Baqee still stands in our words, in our tears, and in our refusal to forget.
Rebuild Al-Baqee. Rebuild Al-Baqee. Rebuild Al-Baqee.
And until Baqee is honored once more, not just rebuilt in stone, but restored in majesty, then our remembrance will remain an act of resistance. Al-Baqee, Al-Baqee. Al-Baqee, Al-Baqee.
Al-Baqee, Al-Baqee. Al-Baqee, Al-Baqee. Al-Baqee, Al-Baqee. Al-Baqee, Al-Baqee. Al-Baqee, Al-Baqee.
Al-Baqee, Al-Baqee. Al-Baqee, Al-Baqee. Thank you, Sister Zainab, for that powerful speech. Just like she said, Baqee is not just a Shia issue. It's not just a regional issue, but actually it's a matter of Muslim dignity, sacred memory, and human conscience. If any other major religious heritage site in the world had been demolished, the world would respond. So why not Baqee? Al-Baqee, Al-Baqee.
Rebuild Al-Baqee.
Al-Baqee, Al-Baqee.
Rebuild Al-Baqee.
They broke the stones, but not the light. That still lives on in hearts tonight. For every grave left born and worn, 1,000 voices rise this morn. Our next speaker, Brother Sajjad Naqvi, was born and raised in Chicago and is a well-known speaker in Zakir Ahlul Bayt and the Chicago land community. He has been serving the community through his recitations and lectures, particularly at the IEC recently. Please welcome Brother Sajjad Naqvi with a loud salawat.
Al-Baqee, Al-Baqee. Al-Baqee, Al-Baqee. Al-Baqee, Al-Baqee. Al-Baqee. Respected brothers and sisters and believers, peace be upon you all. We stand here today at the Saudi Arabian Embassy once again on the 100th year anniversary from the Gregorian calendar since the demolition of the cemetery that held Islam's beloved leaders and personalities. We stand in front of the embassy of the nation that is responsible for this action, the very nation responsible for its demolition, who have destroyed these graves. And allow me to ask you this. We all have loved ones who have passed away in our lives. Mothers, fathers, grandparents, the people who have given us a long-lasting impact on our lives. When they pass from this world, we feel a sense of sadness. We mourn. We feel the need to visit their graves, pay respect, show that we miss them. Imagine you are visiting the grave of your mother. You travel for hours just to reach her. Your heart is heavy just wanting that moment to stand there, to recite a prayer, to show respect. But as you get closer, a huge metal gate has blocked your way to the grave. You're told you cannot go any further. Guards are standing in front of you, not guiding you, blocking you, watching you, controlling you. You try to step forward, they push you back. You try to look toward the grave, they obstruct your view. You try to raise your hands in prayer. You are shouted at, you are told move. No stopping, no gathering, no expression of grief. And now imagine that same grave, the grave of your most loved one, has nothing to look at. No marker, no stone with a name, no sign that they were ever there. Just flattened earth as if they never even existed. This is not imagination, brothers and sisters. This is the reality of JANNATUL BAQEE, a place where the family of the Holy Prophet of Allah, the key leaders of Islamic teachings and history were buried. People that we love, people whose place in our hearts goes beyond even our own families. And yet, their resting place has been reduced to this, reduced to unmarked sand and dust, access controlled, restricted, stripped of its dignity. And it is this regime, the Saudi Arabian regime, that bears responsibility for this oppression, not only in the destruction of JANNATUL BAQEE, but in its continued restriction and mistreatment of those who simply wish to visit, to pray, to remember. And this is not just our emotions speaking. This is not just our grief. Journalists and researchers have spoken about this in reports from several media outlets in the past. They have documented the large-scale destruction of Islamic heritage in Mecca and in Medina, the cities that are central to Islam's faith, to Islam's history. Saudi ISIS are the same, only difference is their name. Saudi ISIS are the same, only difference is their name. Saudi ISIS are the same, only difference is their name. Historians and experts have reported that the vast majority of historically significant sites, the places that are connected to the life of the Prophet and his family, have already been erased. Far from the destruction of Baqi, the Islamic Heritage Research Foundation has concluded that 98% of historically and religious sites in Saudi Arabia have been destroyed by the Saudi regime since 1985. 98%. This is not preservation. This is not development. This is erasure. And the most uncomfortable part of it all, this did not happen in secret. It was reported, it was documented and known. Just as the Saudis destroyed our precious Baqi so many years ago, they continue to dismantle pieces of Islam's heritage. The evidence is clear. It's as if the Saudi kingdom wants to wipe out history, and it's exactly what they intend to do. But still it was ignored. So the question is not just what happened. The real question is, why did this happen? How does the Muslim world, with all its power and leaders, allow its own history to be erased in the very city where this history was born? It comes straight from the ideology of Salafi Wahhabism, the ideology that is promoted and enforced by this Saudi regime. They have this idea that preserving such sites could lead to deviation, and so they must be destroyed. Jannatul Baqee was not seen as sacred history to be preserved, but in this Salafi Wahhabi mindset, just obstacles to be cleared, to be bulldozed. And it seems ironic that they try so hard to supposedly take away any deviation, yet in recent times, in the Saudi capital, we see the opposite being promoted. Nightclubs, parties, even alcohol being able to buy for select people. The same kingdom that is ideologically driven to suppress any visitation to Jannatul Baqee, including women to visit at all, in their fanatical reason to take away any deviation, they have quietly lifted their ban on alcohol since the 1950s. One of the most impermissible things a Muslim can consume. All in the name of what? Tourism. So really just the money. And with this regime all bent on power and profits, I guarantee that soon more impermissible things will be available even closer to the holy cities of Islam. So we have to ask, was the destruction of Baqee and constant monitoring of visitors truly about protecting faith, or was it about control? What is convenient to preserve? What is convenient to erase? Because when principles are applied selectively, they stop being principles. Al-Baqee, 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 Al-Baqee. And that is not the Islam we believe in. Our faith is not built on convenience. Our faith is not built on selective application. Our faith is built on principle, even when it is difficult, even when it's inconvenient, even when the world turns away. And that is why we stand here today, because places like Jannatul Baqee are not just land to us. They are not just history even. They represent our connection to the Holy Prophet, to his family, to the very roots of our faith. And we will not accept a version of Islam that asks us to forget that connection. And with everything going on in the world right now, the oppression we see all around the world, as long as Baqee is not rebuilt, we will stand here at this Saudi regime's embassy every year to stand, to demand the rebuilding of Jannatul Baqee. Stop Saudi tyranny! Al-Baqee! Stop Saudi tyranny! Al-Baqee! Stop Saudi tyranny! We will stand ideologically against this version of Islam that seeks to undermine our great leaders. We will stand morally, intellectually, spiritually against this injustice. Because this version sees preserving the legacy of the Prophet and his family as a threat. So what does that say about the interpretation itself? When memory is erased in the name of protecting faith, what remains of that faith's history? This was not accidental or incidental. This was ideological. However, we just talked about hypocrisy of Saudi Kingdom's own ideology. So really, what is their goal with this ideology? I'm not going to say my own interpretations here, because MBS said it himself. Recent news had come out that he himself, the king of this regime, acknowledged in an interview that the global spread of Salafi Wahhabism ideology was not accidental, but part of a larger political strategy. He admitted that the Saudi Arabia invested in spreading this Salafi Wahhabi interpretation of Islam internationally, all around the world, funding millions of dollars to sell out books, to build mosques, to send missionaries to spread this ideology, all at the request of his Western allies. Think about that. Saudi ISIS are the same. Saudi ISIS are the same. Only difference is the name. Saudi ISIS are the same. Only difference is the name. This is not speculation anymore. This is proven. An ideology that has shaped how millions understand Islam. It was not just a matter of faith. It was used as a geopolitical tool. And when an ideology is spread, funded, enforced in this way, it does not remain theoretical. It shapes decisions. It shapes actions. And places like JANNATUL BAQEE become the consequence. The demolition of Baqi, the erasure of Islamic heritage, the restriction of visitors, they are not isolated incidents. Because when an ideology is spread this widely, governments are not just affected, our minds are. It normalizes what should never be normal. It reaches a point where millions no longer see this as a tragedy, where speaking about it becomes uncomfortable, where some are discouraged openly or quietly from even raising their voices. It reaches a point where millions are taught not to question it, not even to speak about it, and eventually not even to feel it. And that silence becomes part of the destruction itself. That is the outcome of that very ideology being put into place. So today, we do not stand here just to remember, we stand here to demand. We demand the restoration of JANNATUL BAQEE.
Rebuild Al-Baqi now! Rebuild Al-Baqi now! Rebuild Al-Baqi now!
We demand that the resting place of the family of the Prophet be treated with dignity, respect, and honor that it deserves. Not out of politics, not out of division, but out of love, out of faith, out of loyalty to the Ahlul Bayt, to the Prophet Muhammad and his family, to those who have preserved this religion for us. Because we do not forget who they were. And we will not accept a world that tries to make us forget. And no matter how long it takes, we will continue to raise our voices until dignity is restored where it was taken. Al-Baqi, Al-Baqi! Al-Baqi, Al-Baqi!
Thank you, Brother Sajjad, for that compelling speech. As he mentioned, at Baqi, even making dua at the grave is treated like a crime. This denial of basic spiritual connection, remembrance, and love is unacceptable. Once prayers rose in whispered grace, now silence lingers in that place. The heart still call and tears still say, we will not turn, we will not sway. Pilgrims who go to Baqi are too often met with intimidation instead of respect. Guards confront those who simply want to honor the family of Rasulullah. Our next speaker, Brother Nuri Sadar, is a renowned poet, spoken word artist, and filmmaker originally from London and now based in Dearborn, Michigan. He is widely recognized for his powerful work centered on the Ahlul Bayt, divine love, spirituality, and social justice. He has published several books of poetry, produced multiple spoken word albums commemorating the tragedy of Ashura, and has recited his work for audiences around the world. In addition to his poetry, he is also an accomplished filmmaker who has directed documentaries and creative projects highlighting important issues affecting the Muslim community. Please welcome Brother Nuri Sadar with a loud salawat.
As we look around with us right now at the state of the world, and our hearts are very heavy, someone might ask, why do you choose this year of all years, as you've seen how crazy the world is, to once again, as this wonderful organization has done, commemorate the destruction and demand the rebuilding of JANNATUL BAQEE. When you look back at history, one can argue that everything that's happening right now began with one event, and that is the destruction of JANNATUL BAQEE. Because the moment you deny the sanctity of the Ahlul Bayt and you desecrate their name, the moment you take the purest thing in this universe and you decide to desecrate it, the dominoes begin to fall. Then you see nothing as sacred. You see no land as sacred. You see no human's life as sacred. And that is why we are here once again demanding the return of our sanctity, the return of the sanctity of the purest people to have ever walked this earth, and the return of the shrines of JANNATUL BAQEE.
Rebuild Al-Baqee! Rebuild Al-Baqee! Rebuild Al-Baqee!
My love for this land, to them I cannot explain. This land's dust, it felt the dust of al-Baneen. This land's dust felt the tears of al-Baneen. On its soil, my soul prays, which is more than just about praise. They asked me, why are you Shia so obsessed over stones and brick? Why are you so distressed? I replied, as this land cold dust I caress, you can never know what this land once possessed. This is dust that by very bodies is blessed. Figures that Allah Himself came and addressed. They need not stone or brick, a shrine or a dome. It is me who needs their shrine to call my home. Sense of their shrines, my soul prays.
لبيك يا زهراء لبيك يا زهراء لبيك يا زهراء.
They told me, why don't you just focus on the world that you live in? Why do you care so much about the dead and the forgotten? I said, to me, they're more real than all of creation. To me, they are more real than all of creation. You may die, but they will live again and again. When I see their graves demolished and broken, it's as if I see the Kaaba itself has fallen. I should see grand shrines, but I see dust instead. It's like they've torn down the grave of Muhammad. Truly, the darkest of days. They said, as if I don't worship God alone. I said, were it not for them, God I'd not have known. You cannot tell the difference between God and between stone. Maybe you and not me for sure should atone. We have narrations that to you stay unknown. To visit them is like visiting Allah's throne. Before we stand by their graves, you can see that we testify that there is no God but Allah, and on Him we rely. Their love in us, Allah Himself weighs. They said to visit graves is shirk, I object. The graves I visit, they still praise God and they still reflect. The people of the cave, when again they slept, had a mosque built over them out of respect. You say shirk, and yet when wishes we request, we see at their graves Allah Himself He accepts. Those that die in the way of God have not died. When you die, you turn to dust, but they turn to light, and their light continues His praise. You see, a grave is a man's sanctity and legacy, a sign that he lived a life, left history. Here he was born, here he lived, and here he passed away. To raise a grave is to raise a man's story. You raise the graves of Muhammad's family. You raise the graves of Muhammad's family, yet the grave of Ibn Taymiyyah still stands party. You reserve this sheikh upon God's own beloved ones. One rule for you and one rule for these shining sons. Your father's grave still remains. You see, my love for this land, to you I can't explain. Because here, I'd see Al-Baneen would sit
and would recite for Hussein. Her tears bled into its dust and fed its grains. Baqee is Shia, Zuhair, Ibn al-Qayyim. You destroyed these graves and nothing would you gain. You destroyed these graves and nothing would you gain. Just like Shibr and Ibn Muljam, just like Ibn Muljam and Shibr Ibn al-Jawshan, just like Ibn Muljam struck Ali in his prayer, just like when Hussein's neck Shimmer would sever to your hatred, you are slaves. I sit in Baqee and I hear al-Baneen. Baqee is a kingdom and she is its queen. While you cannot perceive the unseen, I hear her lamenting our beloved Hussein, and their greatness makes me of one thing certain, that there'll one day be glorious domes here again. That there'll one day be glorious domes here again. There'll be millions coming to honor these shrines. Your light will extinguish while theirs will still shine. Like Pharaoh, you are lost to the waves because it is more about graves. My love for this land, to them I cannot explain. This land's dust, it felt the tears of al-Baneen. On its soil, my soul prays. It is more than about graves. And we tell them, we tell all of them that every year we will be here, inshallah, protesting and demanding the reconstruction of Baqee. And if, God forbid, it comes to a point where we die, our children will come and protest, and their children will come and protest, because we see what they do not see. We see that one day there will be generations of lovers of Ahlul Bayt that will come to the shrines and prostrate at those doors and do dua, inshallah, beneath beautiful domes above the shrines of Hassan and the rest of the Imams, inshallah. Sallallahu ala Muhammad wa alihi.
One Ummah, one plea.
Rebuild al-Baqee.
One Ummah, one plea.
Rebuild al-Baqee.
You can do it a little louder. One Ummah, one plea.
Rebuild al-Baqee.
Thank you, Brother Nouri, for those moving words. My small lines of poetry don't even compare, mashallah. Every generation has a duty, a responsibility. Ours is to ensure that the sacred history is not forgotten, it's not erased, and it's not normalized that this is in its destruction. If truth is buried under sand, then let us raise it hand by hand. For Baqee lives where hearts are true, and every call begins with you. Our next speaker, Sayyid Bilal Rizvi, is a well-known Islamic lecturer who has been reciting Majlis around the United States and internationally. He has spoken on a wide range of topics in Islamic thought, including contemporary challenges, history, social issues, and Islamic belief and theology. After studying biology and the medical sciences at the University of Texas at Arlington and Loyola University in Chicago, he began his religious training in America and later continued his studies at the Islamic Seminary in Najaf. Please welcome Sayyid Bilal Rizvi with a loud salawat.
Al-Baqee, Al-Baqee. Al-Baqee, Al-Baqee. Al-Baqee, Al-Baqee.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين قاسم الجبارين مبير الظالمين مدرك الهاربين والصلاة والسلام على سيد الأنبياء وخاتم المرسلين بالقاسم محمد وعلى أهل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين أما بعد. 100 years have passed since the destruction of Jannatul Baqee, an event whose shockwaves are felt until today, and an event which continues to ignite the hearts of hundreds of millions across the world. You see, at one level, the impact of this event can be divided into three groups of people. The first is the Shia community, who gives a special status to those buried in Jannatul Baqee, namely the Imams of Ahlul Bayt alayhim as-salam. The second level is the wider Muslim community. because the destruction of Jannatul Baqee took them away from their tradition of honoring the awliya of Allah by visiting the shrines of the awliya. And at the third level, you find the human being is impacted because the destruction of Jannatul Baqee was an attack against human value and human principle. And that's why this address of mine is divided into these three portions. Now, when we come to our community, one question that I get time and time again is that what is the value of these protests? You started these protests 20 years ago. In 20 years, Jannatul Baqee hasn't been rebuilt. Before that, for 100 years, Muslims have been having outcries. And in reality, even before that, when the Karbala was attacked in 1802, you find there were Muslims who spoke out. But at the end of the day, you find that the shrines have not been rebuilt. What is the benefit? The first answer that you give is that this organization knows from first-hand knowledge that the Saudi government is aware of these protests. The Saudi government is aware of the scale of these demonstrations, and they're aware of how large these protests are. And the fact that the Saudi government is aware is proof that these protests have an impact at the first level. At the second level, when we look at the 20th century, there was a number of attempts by the Saudi regime to separate the mosque of Rasulullah from the burial site of Rasulullah. That to separate Masjid al-Nabawi, even though the name is the mosque of the Prophet, from the Prophet himself. But what prevented them from doing so was the outcry of the Muslims in India and different parts of the world. In other words, the fear of demonstration was the reason why they changed that policy number 2. At the third level, those individuals who say that an outcome is necessary for an action to have value, you find this idea is foreign to Islamic ethics. In Islamic ethics, the action and the consequence is not the moral determinant of value. This is called consequentialism. Consequentialism states that if an action has a result, it's valuable. But Islamic ethics states no, that you have a wazifa and a responsibility upon your shoulder. When you look at the Quran, it quotes the Prophet as saying, وَمَا عَلَيْنَا إِلَّا الْبَلَاغُ, that my duty to you is to convey. And without a doubt, the Prophet conveyed at the best level. But there were individuals that the result, it didn't reach them. The Quran in Surah Al-Kahf, chapter 18, verse 6, it describes the state of the Prophet, and it says, فَلَعَلَّكَ بَاخِعٌ نَفْسَكَ, that, O Prophet, it is as if your soul is about to leave your body because those individuals, they don't believe. So you find another evidence that outcome is not always the moral determinant of an action. So you find to the Shia community, this is my message. Now when we come to the wider Muslim community, the sad reality is that the Muslim community turned to those individuals to teach us sanctity, the same individuals who would send the cloth of the Kaaba to a man like Jeffrey Epstein. The same individuals who sent the cloth of the Kaaba to Jeffrey Epstein are going to teach us about our religion. Aziza Al-Amadi, who brokered that sale, is an advisor to the Saudi royal family. Rafat al-Sabah, who Jeffrey Epstein would be in touch with, is an advisor to the royal family. Epstein himself says that I have a picture of the MBS within my home. And this is within the files. It hasn't been redacted. So you find all of these individuals are the ones that the Muslim Ummah has turned to for their ideology. When you look at the works of our Sunni brethren, you find that there is a hadith that says, Yadullah ma'al jama'ah,
Within their tradition, the hadith says that the hand of God is with the majority. I say when you look at Islamic history, is Wahhabism the majority, or is those Muslims who would visit the shrines of the awliya the majority? You know, if you ask any non-Shia that who is a greater alim, Muhammad ibn Idris al-Shafi'i or Ibn Baz and Ibn Taymiyyah and Muhammad ibn Abdul Wahhab and Nasiruddin al-Albani and Shuaib al-Arnaoud, all of them will say that Imam al-Shafi'i is great. You know, one of their schools of jurisprudence comes from Imam al-Shafi'i. And Khatib al-Baghdadi would say that Imam al-Shafi'i would state that there was not a problem except I would go to the grave of Musa ibn Ja'far in Baghdad. That whenever I had a problem, I would go to the grave of Musa ibn Ja'far and I would intercession and I would pray over there and Allah would answer my hajj. And that's why you would say, إن قبر موسى ibn Ja'far bi Baghdad tiryaqul mujarrad. That if you want a remedy which is proven and tested and tried, the grave of Musa ibn Ja'far is that remedy. Now, are you going to follow the tradition of Shafi'i, or are you going to follow the tradition of these jokesters? You know, when you look and you say that you are Salafi, return to the practice of the Salaf. The practice of the Ashab, the practice of the Tabi'un, the practice of the Ahlul Bayt was to go to the grave of Rasulullah and it was to go to the graves of the awliya. You know, Imam al-Nawawi, he quotes a hadith that a Bedouin goes to the grave of the Prophet and he does istighatha at the grave of the Prophet. That he says, oh Rasulullah, help me. An individual who is holier than thou, as many of them are, they come and they say, oh man, what are you doing? He says, have you not read the ayat of the Quran? Surah An-Nisa, chapter 4, verse 64. وَلَوْ أَنَّهُمْ إِذْ ظَلَمُوا أَنفُسَهُمْ جَاءُوكَ فَاسْتَغْفِرُوا اللَّهَ وَاسْتَغْفَرَ لَهُمُ الرَّسُولُ لَوَجَدُوا اللَّهَ تَوَّابًا رَحِيمًا. That if when they had wronged themselves, they had come to you, O Messenger, and Allah, and they sought forgiveness from Allah, and the Messenger sought forgiveness for them, only then you will find Allah as forgiving. So you find in the tradition, it was the tradition of the Ashab to honor the graves of the awliya. It was the tradition of Ahlul Bayt to honor the graves of these individuals. And even today, there are individuals who carry out this tradition in the wider Muslim world. You know, I met a Naqshbandi Sufi when I was in Umrah. And I said to this individual that, what are your thoughts about JANNATUL BAQEE? He said to me that, you know what our Shaykh taught us? He taught us that before you go to the grave of Rasulullah, the first thing you do is you go to the grave of Hamza Sayyid al-Shuhada. After you go over there, the second thing you do is you go to the Imams of Ahlul Bayt, and once you have ijazah from the Imams of Ahlul Bayt, then you go towards the Rasulullah. You see, these individuals, even though the ideology is in the garb of religion, as this brother so wonderfully said, you find many of these things are ego. The fact that Ahlul Bayt are remembered, and they aren't remembered in the same way their forefathers, you find that this envy and this hatred is created. You know, a number of years, they would stand and they would have their red scarves and their long beards, and they would stand at the grave and they would say, that there's nothing over here. The fact that you have to stand there and say nothing is there is proof that there is something there. That itself is proof that something is there. Something that will outlive you. You know, there was a poet in Persian. He says, Kushtagane khanjar tasmina. Those were slain by the dagger of submission. Har zaman azhib jan digaras. That those were slain by the dagger of submission. At every moment from the unseen, God gives new life to those individuals. These are those personalities who are buried in Jannatul Baqee. That when you look at Imam al-Hassan, generosity stops in the door of Hassan al-Mujtaba. When you look at Imam Zayn al-Abidin, the Prophet says, when every prophet is standing there, a call is made, Aina Zayn al-Abidin. Where is the beautification of the worshippers? This Imam comes up. When you look at Imam al-Baqir, the companion of Rasulullah, Jabir sits and he says, Ain al-Baqir, Ain al-Baqir. That where is Baqir, where is Baqir? Rasulullah sends his salams to you, Baqir. When you look at Imam al-Sadiq, you find Imam al-Sadiq represents truth at every capacity of truth. And that's why when you look, even if you destroy their graves, the reality is not hidden. You know, that's why one poet says in Arabic, قُلْ لِلَّذِي أَفْتَى بِحَدْمِ قُبُورِهِمْ. Say to those individuals who gave the fatwa to destroy their graves, أَن تُسْلَى فِي الْقِيَامَةِ نَارًا. That their ending destination is the fire of hell. أَعَلَمْتَ أَيَّ قَبْرٍ هَدَمْتَهَا هِيَ لِلْمَلَائِكِ لَا تَزَالُ مَزَارًا. That you know which graves you destroyed? These are those graves that the angels, they continue to visit those graves. And as our brother Nuri Sardar had wrote, that when we saw those shrines demolished, we began to recite their praise. That when we saw their shrines demolished, we began to recite their praise. For how great must these saints be if you feel threatened by their graves? The fact that their graves threaten you goes to show what their reality is. So the first appeal that I make to the Shia community is don't fall into consequentialism and the trap of the tyrant. My appeal to the Muslim community is say that you are Salafi, but return to the practice of the Salaf. And my appeal to the human community. You know, I've been doing this for a very long time. And rarely do I mention about my personal life. You know, the more you're in the public light, the more you keep your personal life to yourself. Several years ago, my younger brother had passed away. And naturally, you know, we would spend a lot of time at the cemetery. My mother would always bring flowers. And the caretakers of the cemetery, they would throw those flowers away. And I would remember how much pain that simple act would cause towards my parents. You see, I recognized at that point that to honor your deceased, to beautify their resting place, to embellish their memory is something which is a part of human nature. Even outside of the fold of religion, you find that art, mausoleums, to beautify is something which is within the nature of mankind, as the hadith that says, Allahu Jamilun yuhibbul Jamal. That Allah is beauty and Allah, He loves beauty. That's why when you look across all different traditions, iconography is in all different traditions. That you go towards Europe and you see Michelangelo's Sistine Chapel. You see the painting of the Last Supper. At the Vatican, you see the Basilica of St. Peter, where the resting place of Peter, of Simon is there. All of this is that human nature which a human being has. And when you have a tyrannical regime that removes this element of human nature of honoring your deceased, then terrorism is not a far step that's a win. Because you're removing humanity from the heart of an individual. These are those same individuals that when there are children being killed, they have to look, is that child Shia, to condemn that. The fact that you have to look at the aqaid of an individual to condemn whether children are being murdered goes to show how little humanity exists within these individuals. And that's why when the Imam returns, you find that he will present himself not just as a relic of the Muslims, but as a relic of every divine person was sent by Allah. And that's why the hadith says that when he stands in front of the Kaaba with his back towards the Kaaba, he says, Ya ma'ashar al-khalaiq, that all creation, man arada an yandura ila Adam wa Shia, faha anada Adam wa Shia. That whoever wants to look at Adam and Seth, I am Adam and Seth. And whoever wants to look at Noah and his son Sam, I am Noah and Shem. And whoever wants to look at Ibrahim and Ismail, I am Ibrahim and Ismail. And the one who wants to look at Musa and Yusha, I am Musa and Yusha. وَمَنْ أَرَادَ أَنْ يَنْظُرَ إِلَى عِيسَى وَشَمْعُونَ, the one who wants to look at Isa and Simon, I am Isa and Simon. And then he says the one who wants to look at Muhammad and Ali, I am Muhammad, I am Ali, I am Hassan, I am Hussein. My promise is this, is that even if we don't build Baqi, he will build Baqi. And that promise is there, and that ending towards the story of these protests and these demonstrations, the ending has already been written. It's just a matter of time. وآخر دعوانا أن الحمد لله رب العالمين.
البقي 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 البقي.
Thank you so much, Sayyid, for that enriching speech. May we be among the true followers of the Ahl-e-Bayt of Imam Zaman and help us keep us on the straight path, inshallah, during these tough times. This cause is not sustained just by anger alone, but it is sustained by love. Love for Rasulullah, love for his family, love for sacred memory, and love for justice. The graves lie bare, the night is long, yet grief has taught our hearts a song of patience, truth, and plea. Rebuild, restore, remember, Baqi. Our next speaker, Brother Hussain al-Nasheed, is a respected Islamic lecturer known for addressing a wide range of meaningful topics, including spirituality, identity, supplications, personal development, and the teachings of the Ahl-e-Bayt. Through his lectures and media, he's inspired audiences to deepen their faith and strengthen their understanding of Islamic values. Please welcome Brother Hussain al-Nasheed with a loud salawat.
البقي 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 البقي.
سورة المباركة الفاتحة. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان اللعين الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين وبه نستعين. وصلى الله على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين. صلوا على النبي. Our respected brothers and sisters, elders, learned scholars, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. On behalf of an Imam who is never absent in our hearts and minds, but absent from our eyes, I would like to say thank you to each and every one of you for being here today, because ultimately, as much as we love and respect and adore the Ahl-e-Bayt alayhim salamullah, it is not my father and your father who's buried in Jannatul Baqee. It is the ancestors of the Imam Ajjalallahu Ta'ala Farajahu Sharif. And Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam has given us a very good promise on what we're doing here today, brothers and sisters. What is that promise? قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وآله وسلم والذي بعثني بالحق نبيا واصطفاني بالرسالة نجيا. It's a very great promise. He says, I don't swear by my status, but I swear by the existence of a being who sent me as a mercy unto mankind. By his greatness, not mine. That whenever a human being renders a service to another human being in their absence, it is God himself who will carry the burdens of that person on a day when no friend or family shall benefit us. So imagine on a day like this when we stand up and we carry the burden of Sahib al-Asri wa Zaman, Ajjalallahu Ta'ala Farajahu Sharif. An Imam who looks at Karbala, then he looks at Jannatul Baqee. A man who looks at the younger of Sayyidi Shababi Ahlul Jannah and sees a golden dome and people in their millions walking for miles and hundreds of miles to reach Karbala to say Labbaika Ya Hussain. But then when he looks towards Jannatul Baqee, there is nothing but dust on the graves of his ancestors. The question that begs itself is why? You know, a couple of times it was said that it's been 100 years since the destruction of Jannatul Baqee. If I may just make a correction. When Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam returned victorious from the first battle, which is Battle of Badr. When Rasulullah came back from the Battle of Badr, where was Rasulullah? He was in Medina. Which means that the people of Mecca who wanted to harm the Prophet, they couldn't reach him. They went all the way towards Medina. Rasulullah met them in Badr, defeated them, humiliated them, took out some of their most notable champions. Those names included the father and the brother of Hind alayha la'natullahi Abadal-Abidin. The father-in-law and brother-in-law of Abu Sufyan alayhi la'natullahi Abadal-Abidin. They get hurt when we send la'na on him. Let's send a loud la'na on him. La'na on Abu Sufyan. Now, when they couldn't reach Rasulullah and they couldn't harm Rasulullah, what was the unanimous decision that was taken at the Kaaba? By Hind herself. She said, go to Baqee and dig up the grave of Khadija alayha salamullah. So the destruction of Baqee, brothers and sisters, is not merely an attempt to eradicate history, but it is a direct attack on Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wa sallam, sallu ala al-habib al-Mustafa. And therefore, in the same way that these clowns cannot reach Rasulullah through intellect, they cannot reach Allah, Rasulullah, by overpowering the true mu'mineen. Take a look at what's happening in the Gulf right now. The entire world has united, not against Iran. No. The world used to love Iran when it was the Shah of Iran. The world has united against a people that say Labbaika ya, Labbaika ya, Labbaika ya Husainiyat, Husainiyat, Yazidiyat, Takbir. So, the destruction of Baqee is an attack on Rasulullah, who they cannot overpower his true followers, nor can they overpower his prestigious ideology that cannot be dirtied by any filth of ignorance. أشهد أن لم تنجسك الجاهلية بأنجاسها ولم تلبسك من مدلهمات ثيابها وأشهد أنك من دعائم الدين وأركان المؤمنين. Who is Hussein ibn Ali? He is from the pillars of the religion. And equally, his older brother Al-Mujtaba is a pillar of the religion. وَأَشْهَدُ أَنَّ الْأَئِمَّةَ مِنْ وُلْدِكَ هُمْ كَلِمَةُ التَّقْوَى وَعَلَامَ الْهُدَى وَالْعُرْوَةِ الْوُثْقَى. They are the rope if we hold on to, we shall never ever go astray. So they cannot touch Rasulullah. So they desecrate the graves of his loved ones. There's a couple of things that we should take from the Quran al-Kareem. One is foundation, the second is future. Foundation is found in Surah Al-Kahf. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. By the way, the sleepers in the cave is not a story that's only in the Quran. It is mentioned in the Quran but one time, because of its specialty and significance. It's a unique thing. But it's also found in the Bible, because the sleepers of the cave are Christians. They were the disciples of Jesus, the son of Mary, blessed be his name. They carried his legacy wherever they went into the world. At the time, Christianity was as Islam is today. It was an abhorrent religion because it went against the status quo. These faithful Christians who took from the teachings of Jesus and gave life to humanity around their time, they found themselves under a predicament where they were the last people who carried the legacy of Jesus' message. Once they're gone, whoever's left behind them is not the original Christian. Now, today we have so many different factions of Islam, we have so many different factions of Christianity, we have so many different factions of every ideology, each claiming to be the original. But these were the originals, the OGs. When they could find nowhere to be saved, what did God say to them? Go and hide in the cave. And they secluded themselves from society. And they stayed in that cave and they slept, tradition says, for 300 and some years. Through divine miracle. When they were finally awakened, time changed. 300 years, that's minimum 6 generations if the average human is living 50 years. 6 generations go by, a new ideology, a new generation is born. People are hungry to hear about Jesus, son of Mary. The world has found itself in a place that is hideous without faith. And they knew that the only link to Jesus was the sleepers in the cave. So they began to look for them. And Allah tells us that they found them. When they found them, Allah tells us in the Quran al-Kareem that there were two sides fighting over what to do now that we have found these sleepers, the true Christians. What do we do with them? Obviously they had deceased at this moment in time. But what do we do? The group who wanted to carry the status quo and continue to rule in the name of God and through perverting the teachings of Jesus so that it benefits their worldly interest and not to guide mankind towards goodness, they said, let us bury their graves. It is sin. It's sin to come and, sanctify these people. They're just human beings like you and I. Let them die, let them be forgone like everybody else. But God then says in the Quran al-Kareem, but the ones that we gave victory to, meaning the believers, the true Christians, the ones that we gave victory to said, we shall turn their graves as a place of worship that we may remember our Lord. There is nothing in Islam that supports this ideology that says destroy people's graves because it is sin. Brothers and sisters, if I were to say to you the greatest sinner in the Quran is whom, I think we can all agree his name is Pharaoh. Correct? Pharaoh, he's like the Gordon Ramsay of tyranny. Okay? The best at doing what he does. Allah says in the Quran to Pharaoh, I shall preserve your body intact, that you may be sign for the generations to come, that even those who reach the power which you reached and made the claim that you are God supreme, in the end you're just going to be flesh and bones. Today, Pharaoh, who lived and governed the world and was in Egypt, his new home is in the British History Museum. It is a maqam. It is exactly what a maqam is. People don't know that intentionally. They don't know that that's what they're doing. They're doing a ziyarah to awaken themselves. They stand at his grave. They don't say salam, obviously. They look at his body. The brain starts to work. This is natural. Nobody needed to tell us anything because man by nature needs to know. So when we see this pharaoh and we ask, whose body is this and why is it mummified and why is there so much gold around him and what's his significance that you brought him all the way from Egypt and placed him in the British History Museum? Who is this man? It begs a question. Then his story is retold and lessons are taken that I don't want to be like this man. Flip side of the coin, humans celebrate a person by the name of Einstein. Thanks to Einstein, every desi person's parent told them, go be a doctor, go be a scientist. Before Einstein, nobody cared for that stuff. But it is a sign that humanity can accomplish A or B, each one of them being an example for us. When I stand at the grave of Al-Imam Al-Hassan Al-Mujtaba alayhi salamullah, I am inspired through generosity. When I stand at the grave of Al-Imam Ja'far Al-Sadiq alayhi salamullah, I am reminded by that man who taught 14,000 scholars, not students. He did not take a penny from them, while he himself lived the poorest life in Medina. So a man came to him and he said to him, you are not Ja'far the honest and truthful, you are Ja'far the deceiver. The Imam said to him, and how am I deceiving? He said, you don't teach people knowledge because you want humanity to better itself. That's not the reason you don't charge. The reason you don't charge is you want to be famous. So the Imam looks at him and he smiles. He says, people came to me and asked me, where can we find the best diamonds and rubies? And I directed them to Africa. And then I told them that the best place to sell them in is in India. And that the easiest way to extract it is through mining in this way. And that the best way to purify the stone is this way. And that the best time to sell it is in this season. I am the one who's giving you the knowledge that's making you rich, and yet I live poor. If in that you have not found wisdom, you are no student of mine. Why? Because you're naturally stupid. You don't have the capacity to see what is manifesting before you. Here is a man like his great-grandfather who is saying, Saluni, Saluni, qabla an tafquduni. Ask me whatever you want, I will help you so that you have no excuse as to why you commit sin. You're poor, I'll teach you how to be rich. You have internal issues that make you not confident in yourself, I'll teach you self-confidence. This is our Imams. They built not humans, they built nations. But a leech is a leech. Huh? There are those who preach and there are those who leech. A leech is a leech. A vulture is a vulture. A dog is a dog. So there is najasa which can just give humanity nothing. All it does is it destroys. Why does it destroy? Because when I come to you and I say to you 1 + 1 is 3, I have to destroy the idea that 1 + 1 equals 2. Because I can't fool everybody. So therefore what I must do is change the very institution. Today, thanks to the great efforts of Al-Saud, Islam around the world is a horrible religion. Islam around the world is a religion that calls for the beheading of people. Islam around the world is a religion that calls for the oppression of women. Islam is a religion around the world that takes us back to donkeys and mules. I don't know, I personally like a Ferrari, you know what I mean? I don't want to go back to that age. But that's not the Islam of Muhammad, and that's not your Islam and my Islam. My Islam is a man called Hussein ibn Ali, laying down on the dirt of Karbala for 3 days without food and water. When his enemy comes to cut off his head, he looks at his enemy and says to him, I am a dying man. Do not condemn yourself to hellfire. Don't commit sin. I'm dead. There's an arrow in my heart. I can't save myself. So do not cause yourself to be an enemy of God. And do not cause yourself to be the damnation of mankind. Tell Yazid that you killed me. Lie. I've already left instructions with my son to say that you killed me so that you can take the reward. But don't go to hell. My grandfather Rasulullah, Jesus, Moses, Abraham, Adam, none of them were sent to tell you you're going to hell. They were sent to direct you towards heaven, to show you that as long as you have time to breathe, there is time to repent. My Hussein did not teach me that as a Muslim, I grab a 60 or a 70-year-old helpless man just because he's American and I cut off his head and I say, Allahu Akbar. You're that brave, brother? Go fight the US Marines. Am I telling a lie? If you're that strong, go fight men who have weapons and have the specialty to carry out war. Don't grab a weak, old man who has family, children. It's just inhumane, brother. That's not Islam. My Islam does not tell me that a woman needs to fight for 100 years in Saudi Arabia before she's allowed to drive a car. Because my Islam was Zainab, who went from Mecca to Medina, and from Medina to Karbala, and from Karbala to Sham, and from Sham returned back to her father's home as a victorious woman. She saved humanity. Therefore, the only way that they can have their cake and eat it and present their perverted Epstein version of Islam, the only way they can do that is by destroying the sanctity and the replicas of the true owners of this religion. Those who did not make money from Islam, but gave their blood, sweat and tears to ensure that black and white are equal, that man and woman is equal, that the rich should not remain rich. It is their God-given duty to ensure that they share their wealth with the poor. And the poor, it is their God-given test to be patient. And therefore we pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for a time not too far, when the Hujjat ibn al-Hasan Ajjallah ta'ala Farajah al-Sharif returns. And brick by brick, not only will we rebuild Jannatul Baqee, but we will build the sanctity of this religion that is a religion of humanity, of peace and prosperity. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make that in our lifetime and to be of those who He utilizes in order for that vision to be a reality. Ilahi al-Haqqi Ameen. For our marhumeen and for your marhumeen and for the marhumeen of those, and I don't want to mention names because I know they are very humble, but those individuals who work day and night, not just today, but every single day and night for the past 10, 12 decades to ensure that Jannatul Baqee will never be forgotten. We cannot thank you, only Imam Zamana can thank you. So we give the best of gifts, Surah Al-Mubarakat Al-Fatiha, with 3 loud salawats ala Muhammadin wa Aal-e-Muhammad.
صلي على محمد وآل محمد وعجل
Surah Fatiha, please. Thank you so much, Brother Hussein, for that eloquent and very educational speech. As many of you all know, this protest is fueled by the demands outlined in our memorandum to the Saudi government. Today, we will present this memorandum to the Saudi embassy. Before that, I would like to briefly highlight its key demands for all of us. We stand firmly against policies that promote religious discrimination, the destruction of sacred sites, and the exclusion of women from places of remembrance and prayer. We also call directly upon Princess Rima bint Bandar Al Saud as a Saudi ambassador to hear the voices of Muslims around the world and to convey these concerns with seriousness and urgency. We urge her to recognize the pain caused by the continued neglect of Jannatul Baqee and to support meaningful steps toward justice, access, and the protection of this sacred heritage. We call upon the Saudi authorities to do 4 things. Number 1, permit women to enter Jannatul Baqee and Jannatul Mu'alla. Allow extended visiting hours and stop interfering with pilgrims who recite supplications. Number 2, stop the destruction of Islamic graves and relics and begin restoration of these sites with proper signs honoring those that are buried there. Number 3, remove personnel who harass, intimidate, and confront peaceful visitors, paying homage to the family and companions of the Holy Prophet. Peace and blessings be upon them and his family. And last but not least, number 4, allow Muslims to hold commemorations, including martyrdom anniversaries and birth anniversaries, to honor the lives of the Prophet and his family buried in Baqee. We urge the Saudi government to act in accordance with Islamic principles and in accordance to international law, to protect pilgrims and to meet with us regarding these demands. This is more than just about Muslims alone. This is about cultural justice. Just as the world would never accept the destruction of the Vatican, of the Wailing Wall, or of any other major site, we cannot accept the erasure of Jannatul Baqee. Al-Baqee, Al-Baqee!
Rebuild Al-Baqee!
Louder! Al-Baqee, Al-Baqee!
Rebuild Al-Baqee! Al-Baqee, Al-Baqee! Rebuild Al-Baqee! Al-Baqee, Al-Baqee! Rebuild Al-Baqee! Al-Baqee, Al-Baqee! Rebuild Al-Baqee! Al-Baqee, Al-Baqee!
Our next speaker, Maulana Sayyid Mahmood Mehdi Abidi al-Najafi, is a respected scholar and community leader, currently serving as a resident alim at IEC Hussaini. He was educated in the renowned seminaries of Najaf, Qom, and Ahlum under distinguished scholars, and has dedicated his life to Islamic education, interfaith dialogue, and youth empowerment. He is widely known for his powerful speeches, deep scholarship, and tireless service to the community. Before he delivers his remarks, he will present the official memorandum from the Al-Baqee organization to the Saudi embassy. Please welcome Maulana Sayyid Mahmood Mehdi with a loud salawat.
Al-Baqee, Al-Baqee! Rebuild Al-Baqee! Al-Baqee, Al-Baqee! Rebuild Al-Baqee! Al-Baqee, Al-Baqee! Rebuild Al-Baqee! Al-Baqee, Al-Baqee! Rebuild Al-Baqee! Rebuild Al-Baqee! Now! 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 Al-Baqee, Al-Baqee! Rebuild Al-Baqee! 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 Stop Saudi tyranny! 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 Rebuild Al-Baqee! Al-Baqee, Al-Baqee! Rebuild Al-Baqee! Al-Baqee, Al-Baqee! Rebuild Al-Baqee! Al-Baqee, Al-Baqee! Rebuild Al-Baqee! Don't erase our legacy! 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 Rebuild Al-Baqee! Al-Baqee, Al-Baqee! Rebuild Al-Baqee! Al-Baqee, Al-Baqee! Rebuild Al-Baqee! Al-Baqee! Al-Baqee, Al-Baqee. Rebuild Al-Baqee. Al-Baqee, Al-Baqee. Rebuild Al-Baqee. Al-Baqee, Al-Baqee. Rebuild Al-Baqee. Stop Saudi tyranny. 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 Rebuild Al-Baqee. Al-Baqee, Al-Baqee. 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 Rebuild Al-Baqee. Don't erase our legacy. 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 Rebuild Al-Baqee. Al-Baqee, Al-Baqee. 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 Rebuild Al-Baqee. لبيك يا زهراء. لبيك يا زهراء. لبيك يا زهراء.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. As usual, we are not able to submit this memorandum. It's okay. It is online, and we usually send it by mail to them. You have heard all the speeches, mashallah, already. I have just few words to say to you. Say one salawat first. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا ونبينا ومولانا أبي القاسم محمد وآله الطيبين الطاهرين المعصومين. أما بعد فقد قال الله في كتابه الكريم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ومن يعظم شعائر الله فإنها من تقوى القلوب. So actually we are standing in front of an embassy that represents people that actually whatever Islam says, they do the opposite. Whatever Allah says, they do the opposite. And whatever they say, you should believe the opposite. If they call someone Muslim, it means he should be kafir. If they call somebody kafir, it means he is a Muslim. So Alhamdulillah, we are kafir all for them because we are Muslim here. So they call us kafir? Yes. Quran says, وَمَنْ يَكْفُرْ وَمَنْ يُؤْمِنْ بِاللَّهِ وَيَكْفُرْ بِالطَّاغُوتِ وَمَنْ يَكْفُرْ بِالطَّاغُوتِ وَيُؤْمِنْ بِاللَّهِ يَكْفُرْ بِالطَّاغُوتِ. First I have to do kufr against taghut before you do iman to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Yes, we are kafir, but kafir bit-taghut. They are mu'min, but they are mu'min bit-taghut. So, whatever they say, just think the opposite is Islam. I give you another example for that. Why you are here? For Baqee, right? What they say? They say building shrines on the graves of important personalities of Islam is haram. is not jaiz. Islam says totally opposite of that. وَمَنْ يُعَظِّمْ شَعَائِرَ اللَّهِ. See, شَعَائِرَ اللَّهِ, symbols of Allah. What is symbol of Allah? Anything that you see and you remember Allah is symbol of Allah. And then Quran has pointed out what are symbols of Allah. Whatever you do in Hajj, everything to them should be shirk. Kaaba, there are stones. Going around the Kaaba is supposed to be shirk to them. Hajar-e-Aswad is a stone. Maqam Ibrahim is a stone. Safa, Marwa, Sha'irullah are stones. Everything is stone. Good stone, and there are 3 bad stones as well. All are stones. All is, Hajj is all symbolism. They say, if you respect Sha'irullah, this is kufr. Quran says totally opposite. Quran says, if you don't respect Sha'irullah, you are fasiq. You are kafir. You don't believe in Allah. And if you respect who you are, Muslim, tell me, what is greater status, Muslim or Mu'min? Say it. Mu'min is greater or Muslim? Mu'min. Is there any level above taqwa? No. Above Iman? Yes. What? Taqwa. So Islam, Iman, Taqwa, piety. Piety is the highest. Islam says respecting Sha'airullah, Baqee is among Sha'airullah. Respecting Baqee is not Islam, not even Iman. It is Taqwa. And not even Taqwa. Taqwa al-Qulub, the piety of hearts. Because when you pray, nobody knows that you are a mu'min or munafiq. Because Iman is in your heart. Allah is giving a sign for mu'min and munafiq. If you are a mu'min and you're praying with Iman, you have to respect Sha'airullah, and Sha'airullah is Jannatul Baqee. If you don't respect, keep praying, keep fasting, do whatever you're doing. But the purpose of fasting is لَعَلَّكُمْ تَتَّقُونَ. And taqwa is not taqwa of your body. It is not apparent taqwa, it is inner taqwa. And the inner taqwa cannot be achieved without respecting Sha'irullah. Say salawat. Just one more point. They have destroyed it, right? Destroyed Jannatul Baqee. They destroyed Jannatul Baqee. They thought that they are going to destroy Ahlul Bayt. They destroyed their graves. They cannot destroy the love of Ahlul Bayt that we have in our hearts, alhamdulillah. Leave alone Ahlul Bayt. Ahlul Bayt are very great, very high. They cannot harm Ahlul Bayt. Yes, they can do dhulm on Ahlul Bayt, but they cannot remove their names. MashaAllah, these ladies are here. I appreciate them, salute their iman and their strength. MashaAllah. This is real women empowerment. Women empowerment is this. appreciated them, it doesn't mean that I don't appreciate you guys. Okay? Be patient. I appreciated them. Why? Because they are the true believers and servants of whom? Bibi Zainab Salamullah. And she was the great lady who challenged Yazid, and she said, "Oh Yazid, hit كيدك وسع سعيك فإنك لا تمحو ذكرنا." Whatever you do, put all your efforts and all your power, but you will never be able to remove our name in this world. Our name will remain, whatever you do. He killed Imam Hussain, but Hussain is still there. The same thing, these ladies are here to tell the heir of Yazid that whatever you do, Baqee and A'imma Baqee will be there inshallah forever in this world and in our hearts inshallah. Baqee is a symbol of unity. It's a sign of Iman, faith. And we, alhamdulillah, are here with unity, with strong Iman and faith, and with yaqeen. And we know that, of course, we always raise our voice against tyranny, against injustice, whenever it is happening, whenever. And this is only we who raise voice against any injustice happening anywhere in the world. Whatever is happening today, again, we are the people who pray for peace. Peace everywhere around the world. All people who are oppressed in Iran, in Lebanon, in Iraq, in Syria, in Yemen, in Pakistan, in whenever anybody is killed innocently, we are with Madloom against Zalim. This is our base, our aqidah. So let's pray for them and for all oppressed people around the world, and especially in the Middle East. We pray, inshallah, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant them peace and security as soon as possible. Sallallahu ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Is the name. Saudi ISIS are the same. Only difference is the name. Saudi ISIS are the same. Only difference is the name. Okay. Keep one thing in mind. Anybody who is here and who is not here, if you can convey this message. See, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala shows you something tangible. You can, not just in theory, no, practically. Yesterday was a very good weather. Very good weather. Tomorrow is going to be very good weather. In the morning, it could be good weather. In the night, it might be good weather. But right now, Ya Allah, why this? Why this cold? Why this weather? Why this challenge for us, for the children, for the ladies? Allah says, because being a mu'min is not easy. I I will test you, keep testing you, keep testing you. I am going to make this weather now, so 1 week ago, 1 week before, you can go on your phone and check, no, the weather is not good, I'm not going to go for Baqi. It's fine, Allah says it's fine. For little of your comfort, you don't come. This is your test. But the people who came, they said, no, we will face any challenge, but we will be there for the protest. You are, alhamdulillah, successful in this test that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Okay, I have some good slogans for you, new slogans. Are you ready? Okay, so it is very easy. All of you will answer my chant. I will chant and you will say for Baqi. What you will say? For Baqi. For Baqi. Human rights. Louder. Human rights. Human rights. Religious rights. Peace and justice. Peace and justice. Truth and unity. Truth and unity. Raise your voice. 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 Stand for truth. Stand for truth. Be part of movement. Be part of a movement. Be part of the movement. Be the voice. Be the voice. Our life. Our life. Our soul. Our children. Our faith. Our faith. Our legacy. Our heart and mind. Our hearts and minds. Our spirits and thoughts. Our spirits and thoughts. We are here. We are here. We'll be here. We'll be here. MashaAllah. Last chant, I'm going to do it in a different way. What is your global slogan? Al-Baqi, Al-Baqi, what is it? Let me change it a little bit. We'll keep that, but another one. Okay? So, Al-Baqi, Al-Baqi, listen carefully. Al-Baqi, Al-Baqi. So, Al-Baqi will be built. Al-Baqi will be built. Not rebuilt. Al-Baqi will be built. 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 Listening? Are you listening? Al-Baqi will be built. Be confident. Al-Baqi will be built. Al-Baqi will be built. Al-Baqi will be built. Al-Baqi will be built. Al-Baqi, Al-Baqi, 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 rebuild Al-Baqi. Al-Baqi, Al-Baqi, rebuild Al-Baqi. Al-Baqi, Al-Baqi, Al-Baqi will be built. Al-Baqi will be built. Sallu ala Muhammad. One Fatiha for all your marhumin of everybody who participated in this wonderful protest. All marhumin, all our ulama, all our maraji, all shuhada, please one Surah Fatiha.
We will now begin our walk toward the White House, carrying the names of those who rest in Baqi in our hearts. We walk for truth. We walk for justice. We walk because remembrance is resistance. As another reminder before we get started and start moving, please only use placard signs and material distributed by the Al-Baqi organization only, so that our message remains unified and it remains clear. While we're moving forward, please make sure the men are towards the front, the speakers will be in the middle, and the women are behind these speakers right here. Please start making our way to your right, inshallah, and get started. Al-Baqi, Al-Baqi!
Al-Baqi, Al-Baqi! Al-Baqi, Al-Baqi! Al-Baqi, Al-Baqi! Al-Baqi, Al-Baqi! We will Al-Baqi! Al-Baqi, Al-Baqi! We will Al-Baqi! Al-Baqi, Al-Baqi! We will Al-Baqi! Al-Baqi, Al-Baqi! Al-Baqi, Al-Baqi! We will 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 Al-Baqi! Al-Baqi, Al-Baqi! Al-Baqi, Al-Baqi! Al-Baqi, Al-Baqi! Al-Baqi, Al-Baqi! Al-Baqi, Al-Baqi! Al-Baqi, Al-Baqi! We built 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 Al-Baqi! Saudi ISIS are the same. Only difference is the name. Saudi ISIS are the same. Only difference is the name. Saudi ISIS are the same. Only difference is the name. Saudi ISIS are the same. Only difference is the name. Saudi ISIS are the same. Only difference is the name. Saudi ISIS are the same. Only difference is the name. Saudi ISIS are the same. Only difference is the name. Saudi ISIS are the same. Only difference is the name. Saudi ISIS are the same. Only difference is the name. Saudi ISIS are the same. Only difference is the name. Saudi ISIS are the same. Only difference is the name. Saudi ISIS are the same. Only difference is the name. Saudi ISIS are the same. Only difference is the name. Saudi ISIS are the same. Only difference is the name. Saudi ISIS are the same. Only difference is the name. Saudi ISIS are the same. Only difference is the name. Saudi ISIS are the same. Only difference is the name. Saudi ISIS are the same. Only difference is the name. لبيك يا زهراء. لبيك يا زهراء. لبيك يا زهراء. البقي البقي. البقي البقي. We build Al-Baqi. Al-Baqi البقي. We build Al-Baqi. البقي البقي. We build Al-Baqi. البقي البقي. البقي البقي. We build Al-Baqi. 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 البقي البقي. We build Al-Baqi.
To those who claim to be the protectors of Islam, we ask, how can you claim to protect Islam while desecrating the graves of the Prophet's family? The Saudi government has dishonored the sacred memories of our beloved ancestors, and it is time we hold them accountable. We demand justice for the desecration of JANNATUL BAQEE and the restoration of this site as a place of reverence for all Muslims. One ummah, one plea. One ummah, one plea.
Rebuild Al-Baqi.
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 Al-Baqi, Al-Baqi.
Rebuild Al-Baqi.
Al-Baqi, Al-Baqi.
Rebuild Al-Baqi.
Al-Baqi, Al-Baqi.
Rebuild Al-Baqi.
Al-Baqi, Al-Baqi.
al-Baqee.
One Ummah, one plea.
Rebuild al-Baqee.
One Ummah, one plea.
Rebuild al-Baqee.
Jannatul Baqee is not just a graveyard. It is history, identity, and love buried in the soul. It is the resting place of the family of the Prophet, people who shaped faith, sacrifice, and humanity. Around the world, we build statues and monuments to honor important figures. Why? Because memory matters, respect matters. So why is that? Jannatul Baqee, one of the most sacred cemeteries in Islam, was demolished over 100 years ago and still denied the dignity it deserves. This is not just about the past. Today, people are restricted from visiting, and even women are denied access. These are basic human rights. Even if you don't know the history, ask yourself, is it right to destroy a place of burial? Is it right to erase memory? Is it right to restrict people from honoring their loved ones? The answer is simple. It is wrong, and silence in the face of wrong is injustice. Al-Baqee, Al-Baqee. Rebuild Al-Baqee. Al-Baqee, Al-Baqee. Rebuild Al-Baqee. Al-Baqee, Al-Baqee.
Rebuild al-Baqee.
Al-Baqee, Al-Baqee.
Rebuild al-Baqee.
Al-Baqee, Al-Baqee.
Rebuild al-Baqee.
Rebuild Al-Baqee.
Now.
Rebuild Al-Baqee.
Now.
Rebuild Al-Baqee.
Now.
Rebuild Al-Baqee. Rebuild Al-Baqee.
Now.
Brothers and sisters, this protest is not just about one cemetery. It's about the entire history of Islam that is being erased. Jannatul Baqee is more than a burial site. It is a symbol of heritage, our faith, and sacrifices made by the Prophet's family. Yet we see Saudi government actively suppressing this history, denying women the right to visit, and allowing the site to deteriorate. We must act now. First, we do not, our history will vanish. Al-Baqee, Al-Baqee. Al-Baqee, Al-Baqee.
Rebuild al-Baqee.
Al-Baqee, Al-Baqee.
Rebuild al-Baqee.
Al-Baqee, Al-Baqee.
Rebuild al-Baqee.
Al-Baqee, Al-Baqee.
Rebuild al-Baqee.
Al-Baqee, Al-Baqee.
Rebuild al-Baqee.
Rebuild Al-Baqee now! 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 Saudi ISIS are the same!
Only difference is the name.
Saudi ISIS are the same!
Only difference is the name.
Saudi ISIS are the same!
Only difference is the name.
Saudi ISIS are the same!
Only difference is the name.
Saudi ISIS are the same!
Only difference is the name.
Saudi ISIS are the same!
Only difference is the name.
Rebuild Al-Baqee!
Now.
Rebuild Al-Baqee!
Now.
Rebuild Al-Baqee!
Now.
It is a shame that the Saudi government continues to turn a blind eye to the destruction of Jannatul Baqee. This site where the Prophet's family rests is being erased from history as if their sacrifices meant nothing. But we know better. We remember their sacrifices, their struggles, and their love for Islam. We will not allow this grave injustice to go unchallenged. We are here to demand that the Saudi government take responsibility and restore the sacred site. Rebuild Al-Baqee!
Now.
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 Al-Baqee!
Rebuild al-Baqee. Rebuild al-Baqee. Rebuild al-Baqee.
Saudi ISIS are the same!
Only difference is the name.
Saudi ISIS are the same!
Only difference is the name.
Saudi ISIS are the same!
Only difference is the name.
Saudi ISIS are the same!
Only difference is the name.
Saudi ISIS are the same!
Only difference is the
Al-Baqee!
Al-Baqee! Al-Baqee!
Rebuild Al-Baqee!
We stand here today with a clear message to the Saudi government. Your neglect of Jannatul Baqee as an injustice to all Muslims. We are the history that is tied to this sacred cemetery. But today, that history is being buried under the sands of time and neglect. We will not let this happen. We will not let our sacred past fade away. We demand the rebuilding of Jannatul Baqee so that our history can be remembered, our faith can be honored, and the legacy of the Prophet's family can live on. One ummah, one plea.
Rebuild Al-Baqee!
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 Al-Baqee, Al-Baqee.
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 Rebuild Al-Baqee!
Many people walking by may not know what Jannatul Baqee is. Jannatul Baqee is the oldest Islamic cemetery in Medina, right next to the Prophet's mosque. It is the resting place of thousands of early Muslims, including the family of the Prophet Muhammad. Nearly a century ago, the grave and historic structure were destroyed. Since then, Muslims from all around the world have been asking for one simple thing. One simple thing. Respect for this sacred place and rebuild for its historic grave. Rebuild Al-Baqee now! Rebuild
Al-Baqee now!
Rebuild Al-Baqee now! Rebuild Al-Baqee now! Rebuild Al-Baqee now! Rebuild Al-Baqee now! Rebuild Al-Baqee now! Al-Baqee, Al-Baqee! Rebuild Al-Baqee! Al-Baqee, Al-Baqee!
Rebuild Al-Baqee!
Saudi ISIS are the same!
Only difference is the name!
Saudi ISIS are the same!
Only difference is the name!
Saudi ISIS are the same!
Only difference is the name!
Under the authority of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, the sacred site of Baqee has been stripped of its identity and it has been demolished. History was erased deliberately, systematically, and without accountability. The United Nations recognizes the preservation of cultural heritage as a fundamental responsibility for all nations. So we must ask ourselves if a site of such importance to millions can be erased without consequence. What does that say about the strength of international law? What does that say about our willingness to defend human rights when it gets difficult? Because once history is erased, it is not just the past that is lost. It is identity that is lost. It is truth that is lost. And it is humanity that is lost. And these are the things that we can't afford to lose. Al-Baqee! Al-Baqee!
Rebuild Al-Baqee!
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 Jannatul Baqee is not just a land. It is legacy. It is where some of the most beloved and respected figures of Islam are buried. And yet their resting place was demolished and left without recognition. Think about this. If this happened anywhere else in the world, would people stay silent? We build statues. We protect cemeteries. We teach respect for the dead. So why is Jannatul Baqee treated differently? Why are people restricted from visiting? Why are women denied access? These are basic rights, basic respect, basic humanity. The truth is the world has ignored this too long, but we are here today to to remind everyone, honor matters, memory matters, justice matters, and Jannatul Baqee deserves all three. Al-Baqee, Al-Baqee!
Freedom al-Baqee. Al-Baqee, al-Baqee. Freedom al-Baqee. Al-Baqee, al-Baqee. Freedom al-Baqee. Al-Baqee, al-Baqee. Al-Baqee, al-Baqee. Freedom al-Baqee. To all my friends that are on the sidewalks, that are walking alongside us, and they are wondering, what are we doing out here? Why do we have these flags and these placards? And why do all these people are marching and chanting? Well, let me tell you something. We are here and we are walking the streets of Washington, D.C., protesting. We are protesting the destruction and desecration of cemeteries, Islamic heritage, shrines, very, very important and ancient buildings, and mausoleums. Al-Baqee is a cemetery that is over 1,400 years old. This cemetery has the most noble of the personalities of Islam buried over there. This cemetery has the progeny of the Holy Prophet ﷺ. He's buried over there, his progeny is buried there. His grandsons are buried over there. And unfortunately, the government and the regime of Saudi Arabia has destructed this cemetery along with 98% of all Islamic heritage in that country, especially in Mecca and Medina. These are the two holiest sites that we have. So we are protesting, first of all, any country or any religion that destroys its heritage means that they have no value for it. They want it to be destructed and killed from history. Here we are protesting the fact that we should be preserving our identity, our self-preservation. We are here protesting that our shrines, our mausoleums, and our holy buildings are very dear and important to us. We have them in our heart, we have them in our minds. For more than 100 years, this has been destructed. And unfortunately, they have started a campaign that actually the people are silent about it. They've been silent for 100 years. Now, we have been protesting for more than 25 years, and we are trying to take these cases to the legal authorities, to United Nations, to everybody that we can think of to make sure that first of all, there's no further destruction and desecration. Second, there's a rebuilding process and rebuild programs that could go on in there as fast, as soon as possible. Now, Al-Baqee Cemetery is just a symbol, it's a symbol of oppression because this regime has a special cult that says that visiting graves are prohibited. They say that paying homage to your dear ones, your loved ones, or your personalities are totally unacceptable. Well, we say that is wrong. That is not Islam. The true Islam is that you should pay homage to your dear ones. You should pay homage to your saints. You should pay homage to the progeny of the Holy Prophet, just like you would. Let me give you an example. If you were to go to Arlington Cemetery right now, would you want to pay homage to all the veterans out there that have been buried there for years, since World War II? Of course you would. Well, that's what we are asking. Why are we not allowed to pay homage? And these are just mere mortals. We are talking about the progeny of the Holy Prophet. Unfortunately, we are not allowed there. When we are allowed to go in there, the ladies are not allowed to go in there. That's strictly human rights that have been violated for the women. Women's rights are violated. We are beaten. We are prosecuted atrocities. So that's why we are here on the streets of Washington, D.C., marching and making sure that the people know that this regime is tyrannical and is brutal. Al-Baqee, Al-Baqee! Al-Baqee, Al-Baqee! Al-Baqee, Al-Baqee!
Al-Baqi, 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 Al-Baqi. Saudi ISIS are the same. 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 Al-Baqi, Al-Baqi. Al-Baqi, Al-Baqi.
My fellow Americans, to explain you why I'm walking here, just for a moment, let me just ask you a quick question. What would happen if one day the graves at Aal-e-Muhammad Cemetery were suddenly erased? What would happen if one day the headstones were flattened, the names removed, and families were told their loved ones no longer needed to be remembered? What if the place where a nation honors its heroes simply disappeared? What if the 9/11 memorial vanished and the memory of those lives was left unmarked? What if a symbol of freedom like the Statue of Liberty was destroyed and the world was told simply to move on? Or imagine if Notre Dame Cathedral burned and no one cared enough to rebuild it? Because when sacred places are destroyed, it is never stones that is lost. It is memory. It is identity. It is the connection between a people and their past. When the Bamiyan Buddhas in Afghanistan were destroyed, the world called it a tragedy of humanity. When the ancient city of Palmyra in Syria was destroyed, the world said history itself was under attack. And they were right. But my fellow Americans, the same tragedy happened to us. In the city of Medina lies a cemetery called JANNATUL BAQEE. It is the resting place of the family of Prophet Muhammad, the resting place of some of the most beloved figures in Islamic history. Yet, over a century ago, the graves were demolished, domes destroyed, markers removed, sacred resting places reduced to unmarked earth, as if the memory of those great souls was meant to disappear. We stand here today, not in anger, but in remembrance. Because every community, every faith, every people has the right to preserve its sacred history. The right to honor those who shaped their faith. The right to remember, because dignity in death is not a privilege. It is a human right. And we will not the memory be erased. As one of the speakers said earlier, we are here to remember love over fear, restraint over revenge, truth over power, God over empire. Rebuild Al-Baqi.
Now.
Rebuild Al-Baqi.
Now.
Rebuild Al-Baqi.
Now. Al-Baqi, Al-Baqi. Al-Baqi, Al-Baqi. Al-Baqi, Al-Baqi. Al-Baqi, Al-Baqi. Saudi ISIS are the same. 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 Saudi ISIS are the same.
Imagine traveling across the world to visit the grave of someone you love, only to find nothing there. No marker, no sign, no dignity for the person buried beneath the ground. This is what millions of Muslims feel when they visit Jannatul Baqee today. Beneath that soil lie the graves of the Prophet's family and companions. These are the people who shaped the early history of Islam. Their resting place deserves honor, respect, and remembrance. Rebuild Al-Baqee now.
Rebuild Al-Baqee. Al-Baqee, Al-Baqee. Rebuild Al-Baqee. Al-Baqee, Al-Baqee. Rebuild Al-Baqee. Al-Baqee, Al-Baqee. Rebuild Al-Baqee. Al-Baqee, Al-Baqee. Rebuild Al-Baqee.
In the land where the companions of Prophet Muhammad's rest. Jannatul Baqee stands today not as a place of honor, but as a testament to injustice. Over 100 years ago, it was demolished, and since then, the Saudi government has allowed the sands of time to bury the memories of our forefathers. We are told that they are the custodians of the two holy sites. But what kind of custodians destroy history? What kind of leaders deny people the right to visit graves? They put the name of Allah on the Prophet and the Prophet on their flag, but their actions contradict the very teachings of Islam. Islam teaches respect for the dead. Islam teaches dignity. Islam gave rights to women. So why are women restricted? Why are they pushed behind walls, unable to see the graves? This is not Islam. This is hypocrisy, and we will not stay silent in the face of it. Al-Baqee! Al-Baqee!
Al-Baqee!
Al-Baqee!
Al-Baqee!
Al-Baqee!
Al-Baqee! Al-Baqee! Al-Baqee!
Saudi ISIS are the same.
Only difference is the name.
Saudi ISIS are the same.
Only difference is the name.
Saudi ISIS are the same.
Only difference is the name.
Saudi ISIS are the same.
Only difference is the name.
Saudi ISIS are the same.
Only difference is the name.
Rebuild Al-Baqee.
Now.
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 Today, we remember the pain of history. The family of the Prophet sacrificed everything for Islam. They faced persecution, hardship, and loss so that the message of Islam could reach the world. Yet today, their graves in Jannatul Baqee remain destroyed and forgotten. We cannot stay silent while the resting place of the Prophet's family is neglected. We stand here with love in our hearts and justice in our voices. One Ummah, one plea.
Rebuild Al-Baqee.
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 Rebuild Al-Baqee.
Now.
Rebuild Al-Baqee.
Now.
Rebuild Al-Baqee.
Now.
Destroying Baqee is not our only problem with the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, and neither is this just a Shia or a Muslim issue. It's a humanitarian issue, because I don't need to mention how many innocent people Saudi Arabia is responsible for killing and torturing. And sure, I don't need to mention how the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia is responsible for major terrorist organizations like ISIS. And I don't need to mention how the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia is behind the extremist and oppressive Wahhabi ideology, or that because of their actions, Muslims like you and I face Islamophobia all around the world today. And yes, the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, which is labeled as a so-called Muslim country, is in fact our biggest enemy as Shias, as Muslims, and as humans. Al-Baqee, Al-Baqee.
Rebuild Al-Baqee.
Al-Baqee, Al-Baqee.
Rebuild Al-Baqee.
Rebuild Al-Baqee.
Now.
Rebuild Al-Baqee.
Now.
Saudi ISIS are the same.
Only difference is the name.
Saudi ISIS are the same.
Only difference is the name. Al-Baqee, Al-Baqee. Al-Baqee, Al-Baqee. Al-Baqee, Al-Baqee.
Who is responsible for destroying the graves of Prophet Muhammad's family in Baqee? Saudi Arabia! Which country has a historical responsibility for rebuilding Baqee?
Saudi Arabia.
Where should global attention be focused for Baqee's revival?
Saudi Arabia.
Whose grandfather is responsible for the destruction of Baqee Cemetery on April 21st, 1926?
Saudi Arabia.
Whose grandfather is responsible for the destruction of Baqee Cemetery on April 21st, 1926?
And the U.S.
Who claims
promised to be the protector of Islam. MBS! Who gave the go-ahead for the civilian deaths caused by the military operation in Yemen.
MBS!
Who established the rule that permits women to drive in Saudi Arabia but restricts them from entering Baqee.
MBS!
Al-Baqee, Al-Baqee!
Rebuild Al-Baqee!
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 O Mu'mineen, I ask you, do not forget what you are fighting for. For the remembrance of Al-Baqee is a history too sacred to be forgotten, too oppressed to be forgotten, too disrespected to be forgotten. And its values that it gives us are the values of the same people who brought this religion to life, are the same people who saved this religion. And most importantly, it brings peace and justice, as Allah has made proper for us. It's like the Prophet said, if there's one day left of this world, Allah will prolong that day until He brings to it a man from my family. His name will be the same as my name, and he will bring peace and justice to the earth as it was once filled with oppression and tyranny. So until that peace and justice is brought and is spread the land and is given to JANNATUL BAQEE, I ask you, please, with all your strength, chant Al-Baqee, Al-Baqee!
Rebuild Al-Baqee!
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 Rebuild Al-Baqee!
No!
Saudi ISIS are the same.
Only difference is the name.
Saudi ISIS are the same.
Only difference is the name.
Saudi ISIS are the same.
Only difference is the name.
Saudi ISIS are the same.
Only difference is the name.
Saudi ISIS are the same.
Only difference is the name.
Saudi ISIS are the same.
Only difference is the name.
Saudi ISIS are the same.
Only difference is the name.
Saudi ISIS are the same.
Only difference is the name.
Saudi ISIS are the same.
Only difference is the name.
Saudi ISIS are the same.
Only difference is the name.
Saudi ISIS are the same.
Only difference is the name.
Saudi ISIS are the same.
Only difference is the name.
Saudi ISIS are the same.
Only difference is the name. Saudi Arabia has long imposed a system that restricts the fundamental freedom of women. They've raised serious concerns under the international human rights laws. And despite recent reforms, they continue to limit women's autonomy over essential life decisions such as travel, marriage, and even the access to certain health care. Women who speak out or advocate for change have faced detention, intimidation, or silencing. These practices not only violate basic human dignity, but also challenge the international community's commitment to gender equality. Rebuild Al-Baqee!
Now!
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 It is a shame that the Saudi government continues to turn a blind eye to the destruction of JANNATUL BAQEE. This site where the Prophet's family rests is being erased from history as if their sacrifices meant nothing. But we know better. We remember their sacrifices, their struggles, and their love for Islam. We will not allow this grave injustice to go unchallenged. We are here to demand the Saudi government take responsibility and restore this sacred site. Rebuild Al-Baqee!
Now!
Rebuild Al-Baqee!
Now! Saudi ISIS are the same.
Only difference is the name.
Saudi ISIS are the same.
Only difference is the name. Saudi
ISIS are the same.
Only difference is the name.
Saudi ISIS are the same.
Only difference is the name.
One Ummah, one plea.
Rebuild Al-Baqi.
One Ummah, one plea.
Rebuild Al-Baqi.
As you may know, again, that we are going to repeat this memorandum so everyone in the streets can hear. What are we asking the Saudi embassy? We stand firmly against policies that promote religious discrimination, the destruction of sacred sites, and the exclusion of women from places of remembrance and prayer. We also call the Saudi ambassadors and for them to listen and to hear us out. All people of all faiths, this is for you, for you guys to hear what we have to say. We call upon the Saudi authorities to do 4 things. Number 1, permit women to enter Baqi and JANNATUL BAQEE. Allow extended visiting hours and stop interfering with pilgrims who are recite supplications. Number 2, stop the destruction of Islamic graves and relics and begin restoration of these sites with proper signs honoring those that are buried there. Number 3, remove personnel who harass, intimidate, and confront peaceful visitors paying homage to the family and companions of the Holy Prophet. Peace and blessings be upon him and his family. And number 4, allow Muslims to hold commemorations, including the martyrdom anniversaries and birth anniversaries, to honor the lives of the Prophet's family buried in Baqi. We urge the Saudi government to act in accordance with Islamic principles and international law to protect pilgrims and to meet with us regarding these demands. This is not just about Muslims. This affects all of us, all people who are Muslims and not. This is about cultural justice, so hear us out. Just as the world would never accept the destruction of the Vatican, the Wailing Wall, or any other major sacred site, we cannot accept the erasure of Baqi. Al-Baqi, Al-Baqi! Rebuild Al-Baqi! Al-Baqi, Al-Baqi! Rebuild Al-Baqi!
Saudi ISIS are the same.
Only difference is the name.
Saudi ISIS are the same.
Only difference is the name.
Saudi ISIS are the same.
Only difference is the name. Al-Baqi, Al-Baqi. History teaches us who we are. When historical sites disappear, future generations lose their connection to the past. JANNATUL BAQEE is one of the most important cemeteries in Islamic history. It should be a place of reflection, learning, and respect. Instead, it remains destroyed and neglected. We stand here all today to make sure the world does not forget this injustice. One Ummah, one plea! 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 Rebuild Al-Baqi! Rebuild Al-Baqi! Rebuild Al-Baqi! One Ummah, one plea! 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 One Ummah, one plea!
Brothers and sisters, we are not just protesting for sin. We are protesting for justice, for equality, and for the rightful recognition of our sacred history. Women have been unjustly restricted from visiting JANNATUL BAQEE, a site that holds the graves of the Prophet's closest family members. This is not an act of piety, but an act of oppression. We will not be silenced. We will continue to fight for the restoration of this holy site, so that future generations can honor the legacy of the Prophet and his family. Al-Baqi, Al-Baqi.
Saudi ISIS are the same.
Only difference is the name.
Saudi ISIS are the same.
Only difference is the name.
Saudi ISIS are the same.
Only difference is the name.
Saudi ISIS are the same.
Only difference is the name.
Saudi ISIS are the same.
Only difference is the name.
Saudi ISIS are the same.
Only difference is the name. The neglect of JANNATUL BAQEE is a stain on our history. This cemetery is where the Prophet's family, his companions, and countless other noble figures rest in peace.
al-Baqee.
Al-Baqee.
Rebuild Al-Baqee.
Al-Baqee. Al-Baqee.
Rebuild Al-Baqee.
Al-Baqee. Al-Baqee.
Rebuild Al-Baqee.
Al-Baqee. Al-Baqee.
Rebuild Al-Baqee.
Al-Baqee. Al-Baqee.
Rebuild Al-Baqee.
To our non-Muslim friends and allies, we ask you to reflect. If the Vatican were razed, if synagogues were demolished, if temples were flattened, the world would rightly call it a tragedy, wouldn't it? The world would rightly call it a tragedy because Baqee is the same. Baqee deserves that same concern, the same outrage, that same action. Because cultural erasure anywhere is a threat to sacred heritage everywhere. Though years have passed and grief runs deep, the promise still is ours to keep. Until those sacred grounds are free, we will not stop for Al-Baqee. Al-Baqee, Al-Baqee.
Rebuild al-Baqee.
Al-Baqee, Al-Baqee.
Rebuild Al-Baqee.
Saudi ISIS are the same.
Only difference is the name.
Saudi ISIS are the same.
Only difference is the name.
Saudi ISIS are the same.
Only difference is the name.
Saudi ISIS are the same.
Only difference is the name.
Saudi ISIS are the same.
Only difference is the name.
Around the world, humanity works hard to protect places that carry its memory. We preserve Arlington National Cemetery, where a nation honors the men and women who sacrificed their lives. We built 9/11 Memorial, names of those lost will never fade from history. We protect symbols like the Statue of Liberty because they represent freedom and hope for generations. Across the ocean, when Notre Dame Cathedral who came before. Every community deserves the right to preserve its sacred history because dignity in death is not a privilege, it is a human right. Rebuild Al-Baqee
Now.
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 Jannatul Baqee is a symbol of our history, our faith, and our connection to those who came before us. And today that symbol stands in ruins. Shame on the Saudi government for neglecting our sacred site. Shame on those who destroy Islamic heritage while claiming to protect it. They call themselves custodians, yes, yet they erase history. They claim to follow Islam, yet they violate its teachings. Islam teaches us to honor the dead. Islam teaches justice. Islam teaches dignity for all men and women. So how dare they deny access? How dare they restrict women from visiting the graves of the mothers of the believers? This is not just wrong, it's betrayal. A betrayal of Islam, a betrayal of our history, a betrayal of humanity. We condemn those who shamelessly
seriously violate these principles, and we say clearly, you do not represent us. We demand justice for Baqee. We demand recognition. We demand the reconstruction of our shared legacy, because silence is no longer an option. Al-Baqee, Al-Baqee. Al-Baqee, Al-Baqee.
Al-Baqee.
Al-Baqee, Al-Baqee.
Rebuild Al-Baqee.
Al-Baqee, Al-Baqee.
Rebuild Al-Baqee.
Al-Baqee, Al-Baqee.
Rebuild Al-Baqee.
Al-Baqee, Al-Baqee.
Rebuild Al-Baqee.
Saudi ISIS are the same.
Only difference is the name.
Saudi ISIS are the same.
Only difference is the name.
Saudi ISIS are the same.
Only difference is the name.
Saudi ISIS are the same.
Only difference is the name.
Stop Saudi tyranny.
Rebuild Al-Baqee.
Stop Saudi tyranny.
Rebuild Al-Baqee.
Stop Saudi tyranny.
Rebuild Al-Baqee.
Al-Baqee, Al-Baqee.
Rebuild Al-Baqee.
We are here peacefully, but our message is powerful. Jannatul Baqee is part of the heritage of all Muslims. When historical sites are destroyed, we lose pieces of our history. Imagine if the graves of great historical leaders were erased and forgotten. This is what happened in Baqee. We are here to educate the world and remind everyone that preserving history is not extremism. It is respect. Al-Baqee, Al-Baqee.
Rebuild Al-Baqee.
Al-Baqee, Al-Baqee.
Rebuild Al-Baqee.
Al-Baqee, Al-Baqee.
Rebuild Al-Baqee.
Saudi ISIS are the same. Saudi ISIS are the same. Saudi ISIS are the same. This protest is about remembrance. When sacred sites are destroyed, history begins to disappear. Jannatul Baqee once had beautiful shrines and markers that helped Muslims remember the people buried there. Today, those graves are flattened and unmarked. We believe history should be preserved, not erased. We believe sacred places should be protected, not destroyed. Al-Baqee, Al-Baqee.
Rebuild Al-Baqee.
Al-Baqee, Al-Baqee.
Rebuild Al-Baqee.
Al-Baqee, Al-Baqee.
Rebuild Al-Baqee.
Saudi ISIS are the same.
Only difference is the name.
Saudi ISIS are the same.
Only difference is the name.
Saudi ISIS are the same.
Only difference is the name.
Our message today is simple. Respect Islamic history. Respect the family of Prophet Muhammad. Respect the sacred cemetery of Jannatul Baqee. For nearly 100 years, Muslims around the world have asked for this site to be rebuilt with dignity. We are not asking for conflict. We are asking for respect, remembrance, and justice for one of the most sacred cemeteries in Islam. One Ummah, one creed. Rebuild Al-Baqee. One Ummah, one creed. Al-Baqee, Al-Baqee. Al-Baqee, Al-Baqee. Al-Baqee, Al-Baqee.
Rebuild Al-Baqee.
Al-Baqee, Al-Baqee.
Rebuild Al-Baqee.
Al-Baqee, Al-Baqee.
Rebuild Al-Baqee.
Baqee is not only a cemetery, it is a reminder of the earliest days of Islam. Reminds us of the struggles, sacrifices, and faith of the Prophet's family and companions. When we remember them, we strengthen our own faith. When their graves are neglected, it feels like their memory is being forgotten. We will continue to speak out until the sacred site is rebuilt and respected. One Ummah, one creed.
Rebuild Al-Baqee.
One Ummah, one creed.
Rebuild Al-Baqee.
One Ummah, one creed.
Rebuild Al-Baqee.
Rebuild Al-Baqee.
Now.
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 Al-Baqee, Al-Baqee.
Rebuild Al-Baqee.
Al-Baqee, Al-Baqee.
Rebuild Al-Baqee.
Al-Baqee, Al-Baqee.
Rebuild Al-Baqee.
Saudi ISIS are the same. Only difference
is the name.
Saudi ISIS are the same.
Only difference is the name.
Saudi ISIS are the same.
Only difference is the name.
Brothers and sisters, Baqee is a place of love. It is where the family of the Prophet Muhammad rests. It is where generations of Muslims have gone to remember the sacrifices that built our faith. But for nearly a century, this sacred cemetery has remained destroyed. We stand here today with one clear message. History must be preserved. Sacred places must be respected, and Jannatul Baqee must be rebuilt. One Ummah, one plea.
Rebuild Al-Baqee!
Al-Baqee, Al-Baqee!
Rebuild Al-Baqee!
Al-Baqee, Al-Baqee!
Rebuild Al-Baqee!
Al-Baqee, Al-Baqee! Saudi ISIS are the same. 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 Saudi ISIS are the same.
Only difference is the name!
Saudi ISIS are the same.
Only difference is the name!
Saudi ISIS are the same.
Only difference is the name!
Saudi ISIS are the same.
Only difference is the name!
Saudi ISIS are the same.
Only difference is the name!
Saudi ISIS are the same.
Only difference is the name!
Saudi ISIS are the same.
Only difference is the name!
Saudi ISIS are the same.
Only difference is the name!
Saudi ISIS are the same.
Only difference is the name!
Saudi ISIS are the same.
Only difference is the name!
Those who visit Jannatul Baqee come only with love, grief, and reverence in their hearts. They go to remember, to offer salam, and to honor the family of Rasulullah, the Prophet Muhammad. Yet, even this simple act of devotion is too often met with restriction and hostility, as if the love for the Ahlul Bayt can be controlled or silenced. They fenced the ground and stilled the air, but could not end the lover's prayer. For though the signs were torn away, their light still guards our hearts today. Al-Baqee, Al-Baqee!
Rebuild Al-Baqee!
Al-Baqee, Al-Baqee!
Rebuild Al-Baqee!
Al-Baqee, Al-Baqee!
Rebuild Al-Baqee! Rebuild Al-Baqee!
Now!
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 Saudi ISIS are the same.
Only difference is the name!
Saudi ISIS are the same.
Only difference is the name!
Saudi ISIS are the same.
Only difference is the name!
Saudi ISIS are the same.
Only difference is the name!
Saudi ISIS are the same.
Only difference is the name!
Saudi ISIS are the same. Saudi ISIS are the same. Saudi ISIS are the same.
Only difference is the name!
Saudi ISIS are the same.
Only difference is the name! 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 Only difference is the name!
Saudi ISIS are the same.
Only difference is the name!
Saudi ISIS are the same.
Only difference is the name!
Saudi ISIS are the same.
Only difference is the name! Is it fair for Saudi Arabia to restrict access to Jannatul Baqee based on gender? No! Is it fair for Saudi Arabia to restrict access to Jannatul Baqee based on gender? Denying equal rights to Muslims? No! Does Saudi Arabia have the right to have Allah or the Prophet's name on their flag? No! Who is responsible for destroying the family, the graves of Prophet Muhammad's family in Baqee? Saudi Arabia! Which country has the historical responsibility for rebuilding Baqee? Saudi Arabia! Where should global attention be focused for Baqee's revival? Saudi Arabia! Whose grandfather is responsible for the destruction of Baqee Cemetery on April 21st, 1926? MBS! Whose grandfather is responsible for the destruction of Baqee Cemetery on 8th of Shawwal? MBS! Who claims to be the protector of Islam? MBS! Who gave the go NBS! Al-Baqi! Al-Baqi!
Rebuild Al-Baqi!
Al-Baqi! Al-Baqi!
Rebuild Al-Baqi! Saudi ISIS are the same.
Only difference is the name.
Saudi ISIS are the same.
Only difference is the name.
Saudi ISIS are the same.
Only difference is the name.
Saudi ISIS are the same.
Only difference is the name.
Saudi ISIS are the same.
Only difference is the name.
Saudi ISIS are the same.
Only difference is the name.
Saudi ISIS are the same.
Only difference is the name.
Saudi ISIS are the same.
Al-Baqi, even making dua or prayer at the graves is treated like a crime. This denial of basic spiritual connection, remembrance, and love is unacceptable. Once prayers rose and whispered grace, now silence lingers in that place. But hearts still call and tears will say, we will not turn, we will not sway. One ummah, one plea. One ummah, one plea. Baqi is not just a regional issue. It's a matter of not just Muslim dignity, but everyone's dignity, of sacred memory, of human conscience. If any other major religious heritage site in the world had been demolished, the world would respond. So why not Baqi? Al-Baqi, Al-Baqi. Al-Baqi, Al-Baqi. Al-Baqi, Al-Baqi. Only difference is the name. Only difference is the name. Only difference is the name.
Saudi ISIS are the same.
Only difference is the name.
Saudi ISIS are the same.
Only difference is the name.
Saudi ISIS are the same.
Only difference is the name.
Saudi ISIS are the same.
Only difference is the name.
Saudi ISIS are the same.
Only difference is the name.
Saudi ISIS are the same.
Only difference is the name.
Many people say, may not know about the destruction of Jannatul Baqee. That is why you protest to educate about the world. Rebuild Al-Baqee now. Rebuild Al-Baqee now. Rebuild Al-Baqee now. Al-Baqee, Al-Baqee.
Rebuild Al-Baqi.
Al-Baqee, Al-Baqee. Rebuild Al-Baqee.
Al-Baqi! Al-Baqi!
Rebuild Al-Baqee.
Al-Baqi! 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 The preservation of heritage is not a symbolic gesture. It is a moral obligation to protect the identity, memory, and dignity of a people. Sites like Jannatul Baqee are not just land. They are sacred spaces tied deeply to history, faith, and collective consciousness. And yet, their destruction under the authority of Saudi Arabia reflects a blatant disregard for cultural and religious heritage. And what makes this even more alarming is that the global silence follows. It's an indifference that allows irreversible loss to fade into the background. And America knows this best. When heritage is erased, it is not just buildings that disappear, but stories, identities, and connections that can't be restored. And for us to treat this lightly is to accept the quiet dismantling of history itself and to ignore it, to become complicit to erasure. Shame on the KSA, shame on MBS, and shame on Wahhabism.
Saudi ISIS are the same.
Only difference is the name.
Saudi ISIS are the same.
Only difference is the name.
Saudi ISIS are the same.
Only difference is the name.
Saudi ISIS are the same.
Only difference is the name.
Saudi ISIS are the same.
Only difference is the name.
One number one, please.
Rebuild Al-Baqi.
One number one, please.
Rebuild
Al-Baqi.
One number one, please.
Rebuild Al-Baqi.
Al-Baqi, Al-Baqi.
Rebuild Al-Baqi.
This protest is about remembrance. When sacred sites are destroyed, history begins to disappear. Jannatul Baqee once had beautiful shrines and markers that helped Muslims remember the people buried here. Today, those graves are flattened and unmarked. We believe history should be preserved, not erased. We believe sacred places should be protected, not destroyed.
ISIS are the same.
Only difference is the name.
Saudi ISIS are the same.
Only difference is the name.
Saudi ISIS are the same.
Only difference is the name.
Saudi ISIS are the same.
Only difference is the name.
Saudi ISIS are the same.
Only difference is the name.
Saudi ISIS are the same.
Only difference is the name.
Saudi ISIS are the same.
Only difference is the name.
Saudi ISIS are the same.
Only difference is the name.
Saudi ISIS are the same.
Only difference is the name.
Saudi ISIS are the same.
Only difference is the name.
Saudi ISIS are the same.
Only difference is the name.
Saudi ISIS are the same.
Only difference is the name.
Saudi ISIS are the same.
Only difference is the name.
Saudi ISIS are the same.
Only difference is the name.
Saudi ISIS are the same.
Only difference is the name.
Saudi ISIS are the same.
Only difference is the name.
Saudi ISIS are the same.
Only difference is the name.
Saudi ISIS are the same.
Only difference is the name.
Saudi ISIS are the same.
Only difference is the name.
Saudi ISIS are the same. Only difference is the name. Saudi ISIS are the same. Only difference is the name.
My friends, this is addressing everybody that is on the sidewalks wondering why is this procession going on, why is this protest going on, and all the flags and the placards that you're reading. This is basically a protest against the regime of Saudi Arabia that has destructed our cemeteries and our holy shrines and our holy mausoleums, and they have destructed our heritage, which about 99% of our heritage has been destroyed over there. Even though they call themselves a custodian of two holy sites and the religion of Islam, but actually they are working totally against it. So we have here a protest that features Al-Baqee Cemetery that is over 1,400 years old, and all the Prophet's family, the progeny of the Holy Prophet, the noble personalities of Islam are buried over there. It is one of the most greatest ancient cemetery that Islam has. And unfortunately, it has been destructed in the name of progress and in the name of a certain religion cult that believes that visiting graves is a sin. And I ask you all, my fellow friends, do you feel that the religion that tells you not to visit your loved ones, not to visit the people that you love, that you hold dear, to honor their memories, to pay homage to them, if you feel that is sin, then definitely you would side with Saudi. But unfortunately, we and you and I know everybody that I know of all the great religions in the world, they don't feel that way. In fact, they honor and revere their dead, they honor and revere the martyrs, they honor and revere the noble personalities, they honor and revere the saints and the stories that come from it, because when you visit those ancient cemeteries and your heritage and your cultural things, for example, if you were to visit Arlington Cemetery or the Church of Notre Dame, or in Italy, the Vatican, all those things tell a story about great religions, about great people, about great personalities. In Islam, we have the same thing. Our religion sites and our mausoleums are basically in Saudi Arabia, in Mecca and Medina, and unfortunately, they are trying to wipe out the heritage, the identity of Islam. And they're presenting the wrong face of Islam. As Islam that is, unfortunately, they're presenting what you see, and that's why it says Saudi and ISIS are the same, because all they do is destruct things and destruct people and destroy things. So we are here to protest that the original Al-Baqee Cemetery, the JANNATUL BAQEE Cemetery, the people that visit over there are not allowed to visit over there. They are not allowed to go ahead and pay homage to them. They're not allowed to supplicate over there. And in fact, they're beaten. And there's brutality over there. And Al-Baqee Cemetery is a sign of oppression. An oppression that has been carried on for a long time, over 100 years. And we believe that this should end. We have taken steps in legal avenues, scholarly avenues, in every which way we can. And now, at this point, we are here also, we've been protesting over 20 years. Al-Baqee, Al-Baqee. Al-Baqee, Al-Baqee. Al-Baqee, Al-Baqee. Al-Baqee, Al-Baqee. Al-Baqee, Al-Baqee.
Al-Baqee, Al-Baqee.
Rebuild Al-Baqee.
Al-Baqee, Al-Baqee.
Rebuild Al-Baqee.
Now that we stand here in front of the White House, let this be a reminder of why we're here today. Just before we conclude, I would like to invite Maulana Sayyid Bamboo Bedi for a few words with a loud salawat. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا ونبينا ومولانا أبي القاسم محمد وآله الطيبين الطاهرين المعصومين. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. Thank you everyone for attending this protest, this annual protest, and of course you started from Saudi Embassy and you walked all the way here, and we are now standing in front of the White House. Unfortunately, Saudi Arabia is ally of our country, and the human rights record of Saudi Arabia is known to everybody. How they violate the human rights, and especially the rights of women and rights of minorities there. But we as Americans, when we visit Saudi Arabia and go for Hajj and Ziyarat and Umrah, and go to Medina with all passion and love to our infallible leaders, and we see those graves, of course, that is a very sad moment always for a mu'min. But unfortunately, those people don't even let us pay homage, just say salam. From distance, even from distance, they don't let us say salam. And before, at least you could go and see the graves from distance. You could see them, those broken graves. But now, in the time of NBA, NBS, you will find even it is harder for you to just look at the graves, leave alone going and touching and saying salam and paying homage. So this is not acceptable. Thank you everyone for coming. I want to remind you one thing, all of you who came from long distances, mashallah, in this very unfavorable weather, with your children, you yourself. It was a Jummah. Many of you have offered your Jummah prayer and came and joined us. Our responsibility as followers of Ahlul Bayt and the citizens of the United States is that we let our fellow citizens know that what actually we are doing here. And what is the purpose of this protest? This is an annual event, right? Every year on 8th Shawwal we get together. But why? So when we get together here, for example, right now, who is listening to us? Maybe very few people. But when you go back home, don't think that the protest is over. This protest is ongoing protest. Protest is not only that you come here in person and have some chants. This chanting is, yes, this is must, we have to come. But other than this, you have the social media, you have your knowledge, mashallah. Share your knowledge with other people. Let them know that who are these people who are buried in JANNATUL BAQEE. They are the symbols of love, compassion, humanity. They are the source of courage and freedom and faith and harmony in the society. They are the best people, best role models for humanity. They are not leaders for a specific sect, for few people. They are not for a specific place. For all places, for all times, they are the leaders appointed by God, and the benefit of their guidance reaches to all human beings, regardless of their race, their color, their creed, their country, their belongings. Every human being benefits from their guidance, because their contribution is for humanity, not for a specific sect. So they are the imams, or let's change the word, they are the leaders and role models for all humanity, not for Shia only. They are the role models for the whole world. But it is our responsibility to let them know that who is Imam Hassan alayhi salam. Imam Hassan is the symbol of peace and reconciliation. Imam Zain al-Abidin alayhi salam is the source of spirituality and devotion. Imam Muhammad al-Baqir alayhi salam is the fountain of knowledge and wisdom. Imam Sadiq alayhi salam is the source of knowledge, wisdom, education, and compassion and service for the community. So we learn all these human values from these great personalities who are buried in JANNATUL BAQEE. So may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless you all for coming. Thank you very much. I really appreciate everyone who came from various places, different centers and cities. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us tawfiq to continue this movement, and inshallah someday we'll see the shrines are rebuilt on the places where we want to see them shine, inshallah, and give us the light and guidance. Sallu ala Muhammad wa Aal-e-Muhammad.
Al-Baqee, Al-Baqee.
Rebuild Al-Baqee.
Al-Baqee, Al-Baqee.
Rebuild Al-Baqee.
Thank you so much, Maulana Mahbub, for those reminders for us. Very quickly, our last speaker who is able to come after Jummah Salat and make his way here is Sheikh Abdul Jalil Nawi. And he began his Hawza studies from the Al-Bayt Institute in Accra, Ghana, and completed them in Qom before moving to the Washington, D.C. area. He has served several different centers and mosques and currently serves as a resident alim of the Azadari-e-Imam Islamic Center in Burnsville, Maryland. Please welcome Sheikh Abdul Jalil with a loud salawat.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على محمد وآل محمد اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. My dear brothers and sisters, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala glorify your reward on this cold day, at this time of the day, came to stand by the Mazlumin of Ahlul Bayt alayhim as-salam. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala unite all of you with Ahlul Bayt on the day of Qiyamah, inshaAllah. May Allah grant all of you the shafa'ah of Ahlul Bayt alayhim as-salam. My dear brothers and sisters, quickly, what is the significance of these protests that we hear? Many oftentimes people think it's all about a grave. What is the significance of grave? Now hear me out. Grave is not important, but what is important is what the grave contains. Different, and that is, Baqee is great, but what made it very greater is the individuals who are buried in Baqee, which are the Ahlul Bayt alayhim as-salam. This Al-Baqee is one of the very oldest graves in Medina, which contains individuals where you cannot find Ahlul Bayt buried as many as they buried in Baqee. Today, if you go to Najaf, we have one Imam buried there. If you go to, for example, in Tus, in Mashhad, one Imam buried there. When you go to Karbala, one Imam buried there. But where can you find 4 Ahlul Bayt buried all together in one place? Only in Medina, in Baqee. And this is what makes it very significant. This is what makes it very special. And for that matter, we're here to echo our voice to all those who tyrants who demolished Al-Baqee, destroyed Al-Baqee 2 times. The second one in year 1926, that they destroyed Al-Baqee. We're here to echo that voice and say, rebuild Al-Baqee. And as long as it's not rebuilt, we will always come here every year to echo our voice. Because one thing, brothers and sisters, this protest is not just to come and say, I'm here to rebuild Al-Baqee. It's rather also another important message in our belief, which is called At-Tabarri. You know, one of our beliefs is Tawalli and Tabarri. At-Tabarri means to denounce the action of the enemies of Ahlul Bayt. So when we come here, we are also saying that we denounce all those tyrants, all those Zalimeen, what they did to Ahlul Bayt. We are against them and we denounce their action. And we stand with Ahlul Bayt alayhim salam. And not only that, we curse all the Zalimeen who hurt Ahlul Bayt alayhim salam from day one till the day of Qiyamah. And we hope and pray that as long as the Baqee is not built, we will continue to stand against the Zalimeen and voice our protest against them today and tomorrow. And for that matter, rebuild Al-Baqee. Al-Baqee, Al-Baqee, rebuild Al-Baqee. Al-Baqee, Al-Baqee, rebuild Al-Baqee. When do you want Baqee to be rebuilt? Now. When do you want to be built? Now. When do you want to be built? Now. Al-Baqee, Al-Baqee, rebuild Al-Baqee. Al-Baqee, Al-Baqee, rebuild Al-Baqee. Sallu ala Muhammadin wa ali Muhammad.
Al-Baqee, Al-Baqee.
Rebuild Al-Baqee.
Thank you so much, Sheikh Abdul for taking the time out and being able to remind us of those very important things. And generally, he reminded us that Baqee is not just a cemetery, right? It is a mirror of our soul, a place that holds a legacy of our beloved Prophet's family. Its destruction over a century ago and the continued restrictions around it represent an injustice that cannot be ignored. Before we conclude, I would like to extend our deepest thanks to everyone who made today possible. To our honorable scholars and speakers, we thank you so much for lending your voices, your knowledge, and your sincerity to this cause. To the organizers, the volunteers, and the community members who worked behind the scenes, thank you for your time, effort, and dedication. To our youth for showing up, standing firm and carrying the message forward with courage and conviction. To our elders, families, and all community members of all ages, thank you so much for your presence and your steadfast support. And to all our friends and allies that may be listening back in the backgrounds and while they're watching us walk, thank you for standing with us and in defense of sacred memory, justice, and human dignity. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to accept this gathering, to count every step taken today in the path of truth, to hasten the day when JANNATUL BAQEE is restored with the honor and respect it deserves. We also encourage everyone to please support the work of the Al-Baqee organization and to help keep this cause alive with your voice, your presence, and your continued support. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect the lovers of the Ahlul Bayt, strengthen our unity, and keep us firm in His mission. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Come on, take it. आजा बिस्मिल्लाह लो जल्दी से और आ रहा है वैसे खत्म नहीं होने वाला ठीक है भाई अगर राइट तुम एक काम करो तो बस में जाना है क्या वेट साथ चले आते गुड
हर मातमी की है मौला यही दुआ है शाह करबला ज़हरा का वास्ता हर मातमी की है मौला यही दुआ हाँ